What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another amazing Naruto story. What if Konoha banished Naruto and Hinata, and created their worst nightmare? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description box to original creator of HTIS beautiful creation. Sasuke, why are you doing this, you bastard? Why go the snake pedo for power when you had everyone in the village giving you everything you want? Naruto said. Because Dobi, that village was holding me back from attaining power to get my revenge to kill Itachi. Sasuke said. To be honest, Sasuke never cared for Naruto or anyone. He was arrogant, greedy, and unstable who want power. Because he from the elite's Uchiha clan. That made him boost his ego so high and it really angered Naruto to no end. Sasuke, you arrogant, ungrateful little shit, you don't really think that snake bastard will give you power. He only wants your fucking body. I don't know why everybody in the damn village cares for an unstable bastard who doing the exact same thing just like your brother, you jutsu stealing prick. Naruto said. As this enraged Sasuke to use the Chidori to pierce through Naruto's heart and dropping his body to underwater. Naruto was unconscious and losing a lot of blood till surprised the Kyuubi chakra was healing him. Sasuke sees this, was shocked. Then Naruto's body was up ready to bring him what he did by punching him and beating him to unconscious and drag him back. When Naruto was carrying Sasuke and was heading to the Leaf Gate while everybody was waiting for the precious golden Uchiha. Naruto was hoping that he should be recognized, but he was wrong. When he sees Sakura coming up to him, she slaps him so hard and punching him to the ground. Naruto was shocked and angry at what did. Sakura, what the fuck bitch, why did you did that for? Naruto said angrily. Shut up you monster, you hurt Sasuke-kun, I ask you to bring him back alive, not in an unconscious state. How could you, Naruto, you demon? Said Sakura with angry tears. Just then the villagers show up and saw Sasuke injured and was angry at Naruto for hurting their precious Uchiha as their shouts and calling him monster and demon. Naruto was shocked and upset that these assholes were upset that I hurt Sasuke. It angered him to see assholes like them are still kissing the Uchiha. When he was about to walk, someone stopped him and it was Kakashi who gave the boy a hard punch to the face. Naruto, why did you do that? Can't you see what you done? You injured a value shinobi. What happened? The teachings I gave you about those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. I guess you're worse than trash. I'm so ashamed and disappointed in you, Kakashi said while taking Sasuke to the infirmary, leaving Naruto shocked at this fucking asshole. So he got up and went back home. It was only the beginning of his betrayal. Hyuga compounds. Hinata Pav. Hinata was standing in front of the Hyuga council as they were staring at her with angry and disgust in their eyes. Then her father Hiashi Hyuga said something that broke her. Hinata, once again you've been nothing more than a failure and a disgrace to the clan, and I'm tired of this weakness you had shown today. As of this moment you are getting the caged bird seal, and you are now banished from the clan, Hiashi said. Hinata was hurt and shocked that her own father just banished her from her home and now given the wretched seal because they deem her as failure, as she tried and begs with tears coming out to ask them to give her a chance, but then she was slapped in the by not her father but her own sister Hanabi Hyuga with her Byakugan active telling her to shut up and leave, you disgrace. Hinata was hurt and broken that her sister just said that to her, then something that within her snap as she got up. Her eyes were not pale white but crimson red. Everybody was scared at her eyes as she got in front her sister and punched her, sending her flying. Everybody were shocked at this. But her father Hiashi was shocked but also angry that his youngest child was hurt and sent flying. Hiashi tried to stop Hinata with his Juken strike but failed because Hinata just grabbed his hands and break them completely damaged, making him screamed in pain and fall into the floor with blood everywhere. Then when he looks at her, he saw what she was holding, a kunai, as she rushed at him and stabbing him over and over again till his was bleeding heavily and fainted of blood loss. The Hu Council was scared and tried to attack, but she was too fast in killing the Hyuga elders and the main branch with an evil maniacal yandere laugh. There was blood all over her. Pretend her eyes are crimsoned red and had so much blood on her. When she sees Hanabi gets up and tries to attack her with her Byakugan flaring. Hinata unleashed her new eyes and rushed at her, grabbing her sister hand and crushed them, making Hanabi screaming in pain and was scared at her own sister like she was a monster or worse sadistic person. Then Hinata was not done with her, she punched her sister in the face over and over while laughing at her sister pain and misery. Hanabi begged her sister to stop but it made her punch her more until she stopped and throw her sister on the floor as she was almost unconscious. But Hinata used her Jukin strike to damage Hanabi chakra system and coils so much it renders her cripple for good, even damage her reproduction system, so she won't had kids anymore. Then Hinata left her sister on the floor knockout and went into her room to pack her things and to sprite her pathetic clan. She stole all the Hyuga funds and jutsu, and then when she sees some branch members coming she starts slaughtering them all. She just did the Itachi style on her own clan except for Neji, who not here at the moment. The only one who's still alive are her father and sister. She got everything she needs and left the clan looking for her blonde lover who was causing some mayhem. Naruto Pav. Naruto was enraged. Why? Well, it turned out his so-called friends heard what happened to Sasuke and were not happy at all. He sees the look on their faces with angry and disapprove. Naruto knew what going to happen, and before he says anything he was punched by Iruka with an angry look on his face. Naruto, you fucking monster, I can't believe what you did to Sasuke. Don't you know he from a prestigious clan who is loved by everyone while you are nothing but a worthless loser, Iruka said. You told me that fate should not decide our action, but you lied and became a monster in human skin. Neji said. Naruto, what you did was unyouthful and hateful, Guy and Lee said. How dare you hurt Sasuke-kun, monster, Ino said. I can't believe me and Akamaru lose to a demon in second round in the Forest of Death, Kiba said. Ebisu was right, you demon, I can't. Gramps want me to be friends with you, Konohamaru said. Troublesome, you really are useless shinobi, you demon, Shikamaru said, while Choji agreeing. Ayame walk up to Naruto and slaps him, calling him a demon, and it a good thing her and her father poison your ramen every time, which give Naruto a shock and enraged look. Jiraiya walks up to Naruto and told him he was disappointment in him and wishes to never train an untalented worthless loser, and was cut off from the Toad summons for good. As more people shouting Naruto with more threats, which keeps making him anger, and Anbu shows up and tells Naruto he been summoned by the Hokage and the council as the Anbu grabs Naruto forceful stride. Council room. Naruto looks at the council seeing so many glares and hated at him. Then the Hokage Tsunade walk up to him and punch him, sending him flying, and told him it was his fault for what happened as she didn't give him time to speak in his defense, as the council made a decision to banish Naruto Uzumaki from the leaf in 3 days. Failure to do so will be executed. Naruto was shocked and angry at this bitch of the Hokage at this betrayal, and also angry at everyone. Then something shocked the entire council, what Naruto did. He used the flying Raijin on the civilians and kills them all. The elders, clan heads, and Hokage herself were shocked and saw what Naruto did and asked how you know the fourth Hokage prized jutsu, Tsunade said. Naruto glares at her with killer intent and said, what gives you motherfucker the right to hide and steal my fucking heritage, you old fucking hag, Naruto said with demonic voice, shocking everybody at wondering how does he know about his heritage. Konoha. 3 days later. The people of Konoha were waiting and smiley because the bane of their existence is getting kicked out. So many shinobi and civilians were celebrating and throwing a party. Naruto and Hinata woke up getting ready for payback for their betrayal as a knock on the door. Naruto knew who it was as he grabbed his stuff and ready to leave, and Hinata will see him at the leaf gate. Naruto see his so-called friends laughing and throwing trash as the villagers see this, mocking him as he reaches for the gate. He was stopped by that Toad Sandan looking at him with shame and disgust as he was ready to seal his chakra and memories, but before he do, he hear Naruto laughing as this shock him and everyone, even the council of clan heads, elders, and Tsunade herself. Konoha, you thought that you will have the last laugh, see me crying and begging. Well, you thought wrong. To be honest, I'm glad because I don't have to look at a bunch of motherfucker assholes who torture the son of the Yonda. The people of Konoha were shocked, but most of them were in denial, saying that he is the Kyuubi reborn, as the council and the Hokage were angry that Naruto just revealed who he really was and told Jiraiya to perform the sealing. But before he does, Naruto use his hand sign to activate the explosion tags all over Konoha, which building explodes and people getting injured or killed. Everyone eyes were widening and see leaf banks, food storages, water dams, weapon stores, and on the Hokage stone faces were destroyed, completing. Then a blue flash ran past them and sees Hinata Hyuga walking up to Naruto, and to everyone's shock she kisses him passingly on the lips, and the both of them look at Konoha shinobi with evil sadistic smirk. Hinata, what is the meaning of this and how do you use the fourth prized jutsu? Tsunade asks shouty and enraged, see this. Me and Naruto-kun only doing this for our revenge for what you bastards trying to do, Hinata said, wicked with a grin on her face, holding Naruto hand. What do you mean you and Naruto? Baka Sakura said as she was about punch her. Hinata seeing this rush at her and punching her, which sent her flying with such strength and skills with her chakra enhanced. "Hinata, what are you doing? Are you going to betray your home for the demon?" Kurenai said angrily as this enraged her as she starts getting close to her and bitch slap her so hard that she spit out so much blood. Then she uses her Juken strikes on her, repeating till she was out cold. But before she left, her former two teammates attack her, but she was stronger than them as she dodges Kiba and Akamaru man-beast clones and Juken strike. Both of them send them flying. Then Shino use his insects to absorb her chakra, but she use her 8 trigrams defended to blocks all bugs. Then she use a fire-style jutsu to burn all bugs and Shino himself, leading him to burn to ashes as she stomp on the ashes of her former friend. Everyone except Naruto were mortified and furious that she killed a leaf shinobi. Naruto watch his girlfriend killing an insect shinobi, weakening and brain damage a pathetic slave of a weak clam. But then he sees Team 10 trying to take her down, but Naruto punching them repeat over and over again till they knocked out cold. Some Anbu and Root Anbu attack Naruto and Hinata but use the flying Raijin of orange and blue flash to kill all Anbu and Root Anbu, which shocked everyone as they hear those two evil laughers madly. Then Kakashi uses Sharingan to Kamui, but Naruto was too fast for him and rip out the Sharingan from his eye and crushes it completely, leaving a despair one-eyed pathetic man on the ground as Naruto told him that he was worse than scum and kicking him unconscious. Might Guy and Rock Lee use their 8 inner gates to attack the duo but dodges them, and Naruto uses Rasengan on Lee, sending him flying, and when he got close to him, Naruto damaged one of his legs completely, so he can never be a shinobi again. Not even Tsunade can heal this injured. Hinata saw Sakura rushing at her lover, so she incepted and kicked her on the ground. She tries to get up but fails as she was getting stomped down again and again till she stops. Then she grabs her ugly pink-haired, took a kunai of the floor and cut off all of her hair and stab her left-eyed, grinning madly with a yandere smile. Then she used the kunai again and stabs all over her but not killing her yet. Then she stabs her reproduction organs, causing her to never get pregnant with that emo Uchiha, then knocked her out cold. Naruto sees Danzo trying to use his Kodamatsukami on him, but he is unaffected and gauged out his left eye and sensed his right arm full of Sharingan and cut off his right arm, destroyed all Sharingan, leaving him crippled. Then Danzo using his final trump card but was too slow as Naruto used his Rasengan to slam into Danzo's head, killing him. Jiraiya and Tsunade summon both Gamabunta and Katsuya to attack Naruto, but he is using his chakra chains to hold down both Slug and Toad and use his wind nature to cuts them both severely injured that they reversed summon back home. Jiraiya activated his imperfected Sage mode and Tsunade use her 100 healing mark, but Hinata use a water-style jutsu to wash them away. Everyone was knocked out and defeated. Naruto and Hinata as the two demonic lovers watch this in happiness, seeing the despair and shame as they walk out, leaving this damaged village behind, getting rid of their leaf headbands and fly off to Uzushiogakure to train and start rebuilding the damaged. Soon Konoha will be destroyed in 3 years, isn't that right, Hinata-chan? Naruto asked evilly. Yes, Naruto-kun, Hinata said. No pav. 3 years later. In 3 years since Naruto and Hinata banishment and betrayal and stole almost everything in Konoha, leaving them crippled, they went to hiding in Uzushiogakure to master their demon forms to perfection and studying jutsu and sealing from the forbidden scroll. Naruto told all the villages that he helps what happened to his banishment and cutting off all alliances from the leaf, even told the sand what the leaf did and tore off the agreement. But the more shocking is the whole elemental nations heard that the son of Yellow Flash was treated like scum because he completes a mission, bring back the Rouge traitor Uchiha from Orochimaru, and his reward was banishment with the former Hyuga heiress, not before causing damage and stealing everything. Kumo and Iwa used this chance to start with the join together with Otto to go to war with Leaf as they had no allies. No Jinchuriki, a major clan, was wiped out excluding Hiashi and his youngest daughter Hanabi as they were about to get their revenge, mostly Iwa shinobi. Uzushiogakure pav. Naruto and Hinata were sparring with each other with taijutsu, going blow for blow, match their skills. It turned out that Naruto unlocks the Rinnegan and Hinata unlock the Tenseigan. Naruto has wood release, which it surprises him, but know why, because it seems the Senju and the Uzumaki were distant cousins, so it explains why he has it. Hinata has grown more stronger with her Tenseigan, also called the reincarnation eye, that originally came from the Hamura Otsutsuki, the brother of the Sage of the Six Paths, and she practiced it masterfully. Naruto and Hinata had make lot of money by becoming mercenaries, killing off bandits and high-ranked shinobi. They also run into the Akatsuki but hold them off and defeated and killed 2 Akatsuki members, the immortal duo Hidan and Kakazu, and place their heads for the bounty. They also helped Kiri's civil war by stopping Gaara and stopping him and see he was in a genjutsu state as Naruto release it. Hinata has learned healing medical jutsu and did way better than Tsuande, adding her demon powers to heal any severe injury, and Kiri thanked them as Naruto and Hinata were doing their job and want to start an alliances with Whirlpool as they agree they were in the bingo book with the title of SS rank for Hinata and SSS rank for Naruto for using his Biju. Naruto-kun, let's stop sparring for today and rest, Hinata said. Okay Hinata-chan, Naruto said. They went inside in their home as they were living together and was married on the age of 16 by the daimyo of Spring Koyuki Kazuhana when they were traveled there as their marriage was official as their kiss. Naruto, what are we going to do about Konoha? I heard that 3 villages are declaring war, Hinata said. It doesn't matter, Konoha will suffer by us for their arrogant and betrayal, Naruto said, smirky as him and Hinata thought of a plan, but for now they were kissed passional in their bed naked and having fun. Konoha Pav. Konoha has suffered greatly in the past 3 years because the damages there were bankrupt and had no money when they tried to get everyone cleared. The damage was done, the food storages were destroyed, water dams were dried out. The clan heads' monies were all stolen and their compounds were severed, damaged. The Hyuga compound were empty and bare but still stand with only 3 members. When Hiyashi heard what Hinata did to him and Hanabi, he was outright furious and demanded to place a kill or captured on sight order but failed to do so. Hanabi was crying and angry that she had lost the ability to reproduce to carry on the next generation and blames her sister for this. Neji was in a vegetable state and can't continue his shinobi duties. Onto the village. The rookies were in shambles. Sakura has lost all of her hair as has to wear a wig and wear an eye patch, and she was shocked and crying that she can never had children again because her womb being injured too much, as her and her mother were crying and angry that this happened because of the demon bitch Hyuga. Lee has to get his injured leg to the hospital but can't be healed and has to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life as he was crying. The Ichiyaku ramen people has lost all their ramen recipes and their business was smashed. They were completely broken as all they work for was gone because of their betrayal of their #1 customer who they poison his ramen every time and regretting it. The civilians have lost all their businesses and trade agreements, and their homes were destroyed. The Junin sensei were injured but fine for the most part. Everyone has come for the funeral of Shino Aburome. His clan was angry, mostly his father crying for his son's death and wants revenge for this. The Hokage monuments were in ruined, all stone faces was smashed beyond repair and all scrolls and jutsu were either stolen or burned. The Leaf has no money considered they has used the Uzumaki and Namikaze money to funds the entire village for life, but Naruto has taken them all including the Senju funds with enraged Tsunade and Jiraiya that Naruto does not deserve his family heritage. But it got worse, several alliances has cut off from the Leaf for their betrayal of their hero and heard Kumo, Iwa, and Otto were declaring war when at the Leaf weakened state. Hokage office. Tsunade was drinking furiously about the state of the village while cursed the 2 who started this as she was trying to fix this. Shizune came in telling her they're at council meeting regarding the war as she nodded and heading there. Council meeting. Everybody was there shouting about what they're going to do about the triple threats of Iko, Iwa, Kumo, Otto. As there was screaming angrily, Tsunade having enough of this slam her fist down telling everyone to shut up as there was quiet. We need to calm down. Konoha has gone tougher situates like this and we will prevail of this threat. The will of fire is within us, Tsunade said. But Lady Hokage, we lost all of our resources and money because of that demon brat and his whore, not to mention our shinobi are getting tired and hungry, Homura said. We even lost a major clan because the Hyuga bitch, Kaharu said with venom. What the state of our shinobi forces, Shikaku said. Around 40% with 30 Junin, 40 Chunin and 60 Genin, Tsunade said as this got everyone worried. Damn it, because of that demon and his whore fault crippling the Leaf and stole all of clan's money and injured of shinobi, we close to our destruction, Homura said. How did he knew about his heritage anyway, and who his parents are? We swore not to tell him anything and leave him as our obedient weapon, Kaharu said. The fox must had told him everything about a plan for him and now it ruined, Tsunade said. We should send our shinobi forces to capture the demon and his whole Hyuga, Hiyashi said, not caring about Hinata. We don't have enough shinobi for that, we should be focusing for the threat of Iko, Tsunade said. What should we do, Kaharu said. I had an idea, Jiraiya said. Coming through the window, my spies told me the fifth cage was captured by the Akatsuki and damaged the sand. I think we should let the Akatsuki take the demon brat and pretend to help them for the right price of charge them for medical treatment, Jiraiya said evilly with a smirk. Agree, we will help the sand peasants with our good grace, then overcharge them about everything that got, Tsunade said as the whole council agree with their greedy evil looks. Shizune called Team 7 in my office, Tsunade said as Shizune nodded. Hokage office. Team 7 had just arrived. Hearing the mission involved the cage captured as about to head off to the sand village to charge them for their medical treatment. Team 7, which consists of Sasuke, Sakura and Sai with their sensei Kakashi. Alright, here the mission, you are to help the sand village with their injured, but only if you overcharge them. If they can't afford it, then leave them and help the demon cage from the Akatsuki, Tsunade said as Team 7 agree. Finally, time to show those lesser village what a true power of an Uchiha elite, Sasuke said arrogant. Now Sasuke, don't be too confident, there are S-rank missing nin who are stronger, equal to Junin or Anbu level, Kakashi said. But Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke-kun will take them down. Not even that Naruto baka and Hinata bitch would, Sakura said in her denial state, still angry what Hinata did. Now she can never have kids again and want to make that bitch pay dearly. Team 7 left the office unknowing the small fox was listening in and head straight to Uzushigakure to inform Naruto and Hinata about this. Uzushigakure. Naruto and Hinata was working on planning to rescue Gaara from the Akatsuki as they got information from their spy and getting ready to head to the sand village to assist with the problem. So, the Akatsuki has Gaara and trying to extract the beast inside of him, Hinata said. Yes, but Konoha went to help but overcharged them first, which the sand needs the money to fix the village, Naruto said. Which is why we'll help them for free and save Gaara from them. I thought killing 2 members would show them to leave our kind alone, but it's time to finish them off for good, Naruto said with Hinata agreeing as the head left. When they reached the sand village, it was a state of chaos. When Naruto asked what happened, the sand Junin Baki told them about the 2 Akatsuki members consists of Deidara the Mad Bomber and Sasori of the Red Sand came in and attacked the village and kidnapped Gaara and poisoned Kankuro. The Leaf Shinobi came and offered to help us but only for the right price, which we don't have, and left going after Gaara to save him, Baki said. Don't worry, Hinata will heal any injured and get rid of the poison inside of Kankuro, and I will use my shadow clones to rebuild the village, Naruto said. Naruto-sama, you don't have to, Baki said, but Naruto insists and want to help his friend village as everyone saw what can do, and by the time it was done the village was repaired and Hinata was done heal everyone as everyone was thanking them. Now let go rescue Gaara, Naruto said as he and Hinata head straight to the Akatsuki hideout to stop the process. Akatsuki hideout. Team 7 was getting their ass beaten. Kakashi was almost out of chakra using the Sharingan. Sai was struggling with puppets. Sasuke was dealing with the Mad Bomber and Sakura was knocked out from poison. Seriously, how weak is she? As the 2 Akatsuki members were almost finishing the extraction and Bijudama head straight to them but dodges it, and when their hostage was missing, they look around and see 2 figures. Team 7 sees 2 familiar faces from 3 years ago as one had spiked blonde hair with blue eyes with whiskers marks on his face wearing black shirt and blue jacket over it with the Uzumaki swirl behind it back wearing black pants and ninja sandals, and the other one was a lavender blue hair pale eyes girl with blue jacket with wears blue pants and wearing sandals. They were Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze and Hinata Uzumaki, the demonic couple, and they were smirk as they see the Akatsuki and Team 7. So, who want to play with us, Naruto said. Everyone seeing that and felt their dark wicked chakra and was scared for their lives. The battle was about to begin. Everyone was looking at the 2 couple and felt their immense dark chakra as they were fearing for their lives. So, this is the QB Jinchuriki that Itachi and Kisame failed to capture last time. I make sure to get him, Deidara said. Don't let your guard down, Deidara, you forget what he did to Konoha and weakened it, and not to mention he uses the 4th Hokage technique, the yellow flash. We need to retreat for now, we already finished the one tails extracted from us and our leader said not to engage him for now, Sasori said. Naruto and Hinata sees the 2 Akatsuki members sitting on Gaara lifeless as they were smirked at it too late. However, before they do anything they were sent flying by Hinata as they were on the ground away from Gaara. You bastard will pay for what you did to him, Naruto said. Bring it, brat, you made killed 2 Akatsuki members but they were arrogant. We are the artistic duo, and we will show you our true art. It going to be an explosion, Deidara said. Hinata, You take care of the puppet master, I handle the blonde artist, Naruto said. Okay Naruto, just make sure he suffers painfully, I want to hear him screams of agony and pain, Hinata said, happy with an evil grin as they separate. Naruto vs Deidara. So brat, ready to see my explosion? Prepare to see, and I also know, are you really the son of our most hated enemy, the fourth Hokage, Deidara said. Yes I am, and I get the feeling that you're from Iwa, but it doesn't matter if any of you shinobi dared come after me and my wife. I finish what my father started, Naruto said as he rushes at him with great speed and kicking him down. Deidara got up and sent explosion arts creatures after him but failed as those creatures were being sent back at him by Naruto wind pressure. Naruto uses chakra chains to hold Deidara flying art creature and bring it down and destroying it complete. You're impressive but not enough to handle the demon fox himself, Naruto said. Why you arrogant brat, don't think you had the upper hand, I'll show you what true art is, Deidara said as he uses lightning release to send lightning at Naruto, but Naruto dodges it and sends a explosion kunai hitting him. Demonic wind-styled tornado twister, Naruto said as he sends a demonic tornado at him hitting him, and he was bleeding everywhere but he was not down. Team 7 seeing Naruto handle the mad bomber was shocked that how he gotten stronger from the past 3 years. Damn it, how is the Dobi stronger than me? That power should be mine, Sasuke said. This guy has a bigger pull than the Uchiha, said. How is the loser getter better than my Sasuke-kun? I will make him tells his secrets and place him as my puppy to obey me, and Sasuke-kun, Sakura said. The demon is getting stronger, we must bring him back to the village and make him as our weapon for the war, and Konoha will reign supreme, Kakashi said. While Naruto was handling Deidara, Hinata is wiping the floor with Sasori. Hinata vs Sasori. This is the Hyuga princess. Kumo wants an Hyuga for their own. I will capture you and send you to them, Sasori said. I'm not an Hyuga anymore, I'm now an Uzumaki with my husband, and Kumo won't had any Hyuga left because I killed them all except for 3 that can't reproduce, so thy mighty Hyuga clan is finished, and so are you, Hinata said, using her Juken strikes to destroys all puppets with ease and no to counteract the poison. Demonic water-style water demon dragon jutsu, Hinata said as she sends black water dragon at him but couldn't dodges it as they attack him. Sasori reveal his true puppet form and use a scroll to summon 100 puppets and sends them all at Hinata. Hinata active her Tenseigan and summon giant boulders to smash all puppets aways, destroying them all as she rushes at Sasori and shove her Hadi into Sasori, cheat grabbing the core and pull it out as there was so much blood all over her, and she crushed the cord complete and killing him as she licked the blood off her hand with an evil smirk and hears screams of pain. Team 7 saw what Hinata did and sends chills on them. That bitch just kills him, she's like Naruto, a demon, and what happened to her eyes and when did get so ruthless, Sakura said. She will make a good wife for me and bring back the Uchiha clan, Sasuke said. The council and the Hokage needs to know that Hinata active the Tenseigan and steals her eyes for Hanabi, Kakashi said. You're mine bitch, Hinata said as she uses her Byakugan to strike Sakura chakra points and shutting them down as she was done, but Hinata wasn't finished with her yet. She grabs Sakura by the chokehold and punching her stomach over and over again, which in result her puking out vomit and blood. This is for all the beating you did to Naruto-kun, all the insults he had to take from you. Just looking at you right now make me enraged that how are you even in Naruto team, not only that you are a disgrace to real kunoichi everywhere. Sakura was in pain but look at Hinata and gave her a smirk and said something that sent her over the edge. That you reason well, you and Naruto do belong together as the demon and the worthless failure Hyuga. I have seen how you always admire him. And I got to say it disgusts me the way you look at him while you should admire the Lord Uchiha, Sakura said as she spit at her and laugh. Hinata was full on rage and slam her head on the ground and stomp on her body and grabbing a kunai and cutting her faces, making her scream out in pain, and tells her to stop. Stop, please stop. Sakura said. Never bitch, you will know pain and despair for you insult, Hinata said, laughing at Sakura pain as she gave Sakura a slit mouth from the urban legend Kuchisaki Onna, are known as slit-mouthed women, as Sakura felt her face was carved out and cried uncontrolled and fainted. That was fun, Hinata said as she walks away from that creature known as Sakura and look for Naruto. Naruto vs Kakashi, Sasuke and Sai. Naruto was easily dodging all their attacks and pushes them back with great power. It that all you fools have wowed 3 years, and this is the result. Not surprised Konoha has becoming weaker and lazier since that old hag was running the village, Naruto said. Don't insult Lady Hokage demon, you're being only used as a weapon for the village as you were meant to. But you go around and cause destruction, stealing all funds and scrolls from clans' heads, banks and civilians' businesses, destroying food storages, water dams and weapons stores, cause explosion and destroy the Hokage's stone faces, and stealing the forbidden scroll, killing our shinobis and civilians, and stole the fourth jutsu and money, Kakashi said with rages. It was traitors deserved for hiding my heritage and making my life hell. My parents wanting me to be hero by your assholes can't see past your hatred. My father should be ashamed of all of you, Naruto said. You are not the son of the fourth eye. Was if he didn't marry that Uzumaki whore and have you as his child, he would still alive. You killed my second father, and I, the student of the Yellow Flash, will kill you to avenge my sensei, Kakashi said, but was gut punched by Naruto, who had enough of this whining bitch. That you reason for neglect your student and brushing me off for the Uchiha. You knew who my father is and did nothing when I asked you to train me. You always told me to learn chakra control. Face it, you were a horrible sensei and a perverted one, and if you even dare call my mother a whore, I will make you suffer as only I can, Naruto said as he cut off Kakashi's arm but not severed. Damn you demon, Kakashi said, rushing at him with the Reikiri, but was pushed back by a gravity force when he sees it was Naruto. But his eyes were different. His eyes were not blue but purple color with concentric circles covering the eyeball. Those eyes are they, Kakashi said. Yes, Kakashi, these eyes are the Rinnegan, Naruto said. Sasuke seeing this was furious about Naruto has a dojutsu. Big deal, Dobi, my Sharingan is still stronger than that Rinnegan, Sasuke said. No, Sasuke, you're wrong. The Rinnegan is the eyes of the Sage of the Six Paths and it rivals the Tenseigan, which both Naruto and Hinata has make them the strongest, Kakashi said. Sasuke hearing this was angry and furious that someone has a stronger eye than him and can't handle it, so he rushes at him to kill him and take his eyes. You don't deserve these eyes, only the Uchiha could, Sasuke said, active the Chidori with his hand, but Naruto caught his hand and snapped it hard. Sasuke screeched in pain as he was trying to land a punch again but was covered in red chakra chains with spikes. Sasuke feels something burning in his skin and sees the chains were glowing red and hot. This is my version of chakra chains, I called it elemental chains, Naruto said. Sasuke was screaming and begs Naruto to stop but was not listening, and seeing him falls down and release the chains. Kakashi seeing Naruto guard down rushed to stab him, but Naruto senses this flown up at use and lighting Rasengan slammed Kakashi down on the ground. Sai was using his beast art but was covered in water and was drowning him, eventually killing him, and to be revealed to be Hinata, who was back. Looks like you lost another shinobi, Kakashi, Naruto said. Kakashi seeing Sai corpses was enraged but noticed Hinata here bit not Sakura. Where's Sakura? What have you done to her? Kakashi said. Don't worry about the pink-haired slut, she alive but unconscious. I will get her unconscious body, Hinata said as she went back to get Sakura. Then a few minutes later she was back with Sakura, having injuries all over her body with blood and vomit, and when Sasuke and Kakashi saw a slit mouth on Sakura they were horrified at this. She threw Sakura at them and heads back to her lover Naruto, who was happy to see her as they kiss. I see you show that pink-haired her place, it makes me so hard right now, Hinata-chan, Naruto said, flirting. I know you love to see me, and I saw you torturing that Uchiha prick, and that Uchiha ass kisser makes me wet inside, Naruto-kun, Hinata said, moaning. Agree, Naruto-kun, Hinata said. The two grabbed Gaara and flew up to leave Team 7 standing there with evil smirks on their faces. Go back to Konoha and tells that bitch what happened here, so she should fear the Sun Demon Fox King and the Moon Demon Fox Queen, Naruto said as they left. Kakashi got up and grabbed Sai dead body while Sasuke grabbed Sakura unconscious body and head back to the Leaf to report their failed mission and the encounter of Naruto and Hinata. Sanagakure. Naruto and Hinata got back with Gaara but told them it was too late and the tailed beast was extracted. However, two Akatsuki members were killed by them. Everyone was crying for the death of their leader, but one person came to them and asked to put Gaara down so she can use a jutsu to trade her life for Gaara. Her name was Lady Chiyo and she was the Sasori grandmother and want to make up for what her grandson did. I will revive Gaara by giving up my life, Chiyo said. Naruto, you are the only one who helped Gaara with his past, as I thank you. This is goodbye, as she active the jutsu and her life was trade, leaving her dead body for Gaara to wake up. Gaara woke and was confused as everyone seeing this was happy that their cage was awake. What going on? Gaara said. Naruto explained everything to him and was thanking him and Hinata for rescues him but saddened for Elder Chiyo as there was a funeral for her and says their prayers for her. Next day Naruto and Hinata were about to leave to head for Whirlpool, their home, not before saying their goodbyes to their friends and offer an alliance with Sand and Whirlpool Village. They form an alliance and went on as the two couples left. Uzumaki. Naruto and Hinata just got back from Sanagakure and rescuing the case cage from the Akatsuki and showing those Konoha Team 7 their place and revealing who they really are. They also had the money for giving the head of 2 more Akatsuki members. Naruto-kun, what you did was amazing. You showed that Uchiha and his ass-kisser sensei their place and making them suffer, Hinata said lovingly. Not as amazing as you, Hinata-chan. You torture that pink-haired bitch by giving her a slit-mouth scar that reminds me that scar looks likes the urban legends Kuchisaki Onna, Naruto said. Well, I was watching horror movies and hear a woman who target girl who thinks they're pretty. So I saw her giving them a pretty look when she removes her surgical mask and ask her target, am I pretty? But long story short, she gave them the same look as she had, Hinata said. Konoha. Tsunade was enraged hearing what happened to the case cage mission and failing it because of 2 Rouge shinobi. She was also raging that her apprentice Sakura was brutal injured and has a huge scar all over her and give her a slit mouth version and had to be in the Leaf Hospital to heal her face, but the scars will still there. Sakura was crying so much that her face will be scarred for good and never look pretty ever again, while her mother was comfort her but was enraged at this. She can never marry the Uchiha ever again. Tsunade also heard that Naruto and Hinata were both SS rank and SSS rank missing nin and killed 4 Akatsuki members and took their heads and have 2 powerful dojutsu, the Rinnegan and the Tenseigan. She got up heading straight to the council meeting with the elders, the civilians and the clan's heads. Council meeting. Tsunade, we heard what happened with the failed mission. Now because of that we lost a major shinobi and lost an alliance with the Sanagakure, Kaharu said angrily. But it seems that the Akatsuki has lost 4 members. It wouldn't be too long all of them are gone, Hamaru said. But what surprised that the demon in it whore has 2 legendary dojutsu and both of them being double SS rank and triple SSS rank and calls themselves the Sun and Moon Demon Fox, Tsunade said concerned. Who care about that? I want payback against that bitch whore for scarred my baby girl, Mebuki, Haruno said angrily. No, we should capture them and use them as our weapons for the war with IKO threat, Tsunade said. Do we know where they at? Hamaru said. They're in Uzumaki in Whirlpool, Jiraiya said. Then we send our shinobi there, Kaharu said. You can't because Naruto is an excellent seal master by sealing all area around the whole Uzushios and now but him and Hinata can't get in, not even my sealing technique can't match his, Jiraiya said. I also heard that Naruto and Hinata are married, and their marriage was official by spring, Daimyo, Tsunade said. That marriage should not happen. My failed daughter taints the Hyuga bloodline with that demon brat, Hiyashi said angrily. We can't do anything about not only Naruto and Hinata has become stronger but they also had alliance with Kiri and Suna, not to mention Wave, Spring, Waterfall, and other country that Naruto helps, and if we do anything to them we had more problems than this, Tsunade said. Lady Hokage, how about we find Naruto and Hinata and ask for our help, Shikaku said. That not happened since we betrayed them and kicked them out of this village and using Naruto parents' money without telling him, Jiraiya said. Besides, Naruto will never forget those who betray him, and his wife, Tsunade said. We need to do something, Kaharu said. Tsunade, how's Sasuke doing? I heard he has injuries from the mission, Homura said. Not good, he will continue his career but something terrible happened, his reproduction system was destroyed, he can't have kids anymore. Unless we bring back Itachi to breed. Sasuke is really the last Uchiha, Tsunade said, getting an uproar from everyone. Damn that demon, we should had kill him at that time, Civilian 1 said. Our Lord Uchiha can't continue his legacy, Civilian 2 said. My daughter will be broken about this, Civilian 3 said. Enough, what done is done, Meding adjured, Tsunade said as she went back to her office with Shizune and Jiraiya. Hokage office. Tsunade was drinking and angrily that her village is doomed and blaming on Naruto for this and killing someone who was a daughter to her. Then someone came into the window and it was Jiraiya. Still angry at the brat for all of this, Jiraiya said. Of course I am, that brat causes more trouble for us, he should be used as our weapon in the first place, but sensei want him to live a happy life, Tsunade said angrily. We should had told him who we really are and taking care of him in the first place, but because our hatred and fear of what he has inside of him we betrayed him and his parents, Jiraiya said, getting a glare from Tsunade. Kushina was a daughter to me, and when she died during that night I lost someone close to me. Even if Naruto is her son, I had no connection to him in any way, Tsunade said. The same way for Minato, I consider him as a son, but I heard he sacrificed himself for the village and seals the fox in his own son. I grew bitter from him and leave him to suffer at the hands of the people, Jiraiya said. Well, it came back at us, and now Naruto wants revenge for the betrayal for him and his parents. He even learned chakra chains and the flying Raijin, Tsunade said. But I can't believe he has the legendary Rinnegan that belonged to the Sage of the Six Paths, Jiraiya said. Can't your toads reverse him back to the Toad Mountain, Tsunade said. The toads cut him off from the contract and feels Minato legacy has died with him, Jiraiya said. But still I can't let this village gets destroyed. We need Naruto back. I don't care how we do it. Once we get him and Hinata back, you will use a loyalty seal and a mind alter seal to control them as our weapons, Tsunade said. Okay, I do that, but Naruto no fool, he might feel something off, Jiraiya said. Just do it. Konoha need to be on top to rule this nation, Tsunade said. While they chat, a small fox was listening in on them and rushes out of there and head to Uzushio to tell his lord Naruto everything. Training grounds POV. The rookies heard what happened and was shocked to hear that Naruto and Hinata killed 2 Akatsuki members and saves Gaara and having the 2 legendary dojutsu and defeating Team 7. Wow, Naruto and Hinata really do that, Ino said. Troublesome, they're getting stronger, Shikamaru said. I heard they even got married, Tenten said. Lord Hiyashi and Lady Hanabi are furious, Neji said, still angry he can't continue his ninja career. That dead last took Hinata-chan away from me, Kiba said. How unyouthful for those 2 to do that to Konoha shinobi, Lee said. My sister will pay for this when I kill her and take her eyes for my own, Hanabi said. That demon will pay, Konohamaru said. That Dobi will pay. Not only I can't give Uchiha children, but he has a legendary Rinnegan that belonged to an Uchiha elite, Sasuke said. Sasuke-kun is right, and I want to kill that bitch who scarred me for life. Now I look ugly and creepy, Sakura said. Junin's POV. Well, this is getting out of hand, Asuma said. Hinata killed 2 leaf shinobi and has the Tenseigan Kurenai said. Unyouthful that the son of the 4th Hokage will do this, guy said. I should had killed him when he stole the forbidden scroll at night, Iruka said. Kakashi, are you okay, Asuma said. Not really, Sasuke is castrated for good. Sakura is scared with that look and Sai is dead. Guess I am a failure of a sensei, Kakashi. Naruto beat you up severely, didn't he, Iruka said as Kakashi nodded. I heard he lives in his mother homeland in Whirlpool and him and Hinata are married, Iruka said. She shouldn't marry that demon, Kurenai said angrily. You know she loves him ever since the academy and she had been there with him 3 years ago with his banishment, and not to mention your student Shino is killed by her, Asuma said. The council want to find them and somehow ask for their help, guy said. Yun know that not happened there, will side with the enemies than side with us, Kakashi said. So, what do we do now, Iruka said. We wait till what happened, and if Naruto and Hinata shows up somewhere we will surround them and force them back to the village, Kakashi said. Otogakure. Naruto and Hinata are at the Otogakure village looking for Orochimaru and end his life and destroy the village. Shall we kill the snake, Naruto-kun, Hinata said wickedly. Yes, Hinata-chan, Orochimaru will die for this, Naruto said evilly. Otogakure POV. Naruto and Hinata are destroying everything in front of their path, killing sound shinobis and kunoichi while also causing havoc in the village. This is fun, I love it when they scream and beg for their worthless life, Hinata said laughing. Look at them thinking they will be able to kill us, how foolish, Naruto said grinning. A sound shinobi tries to attack them behind but was chopped into piece and burned by Naruto. Naruto look at the remaining sound shinobi with an evil smile. Where is Orochimaru, you scum, Naruto said. We will never tell you where he is, his demon Oto shinobi one said. We will defend Orochimaru-sama with our lives, Oto shinobi 2 said. How pathetic, Hinata said as she cut the 2 shinobi in half and walks up to her husband. Let go, I see some more shinobi near the underground base, Hinata said. Okay, Hinata-chan, Naruto said. When they both reaches the underground, about 100 sound shinobi surround them with their sword and kunai pointing at them. Really, your pathetic human race should leave if you want to live. Just after you tells us where your master Naruto is said. "Shut it, demon, we will kill you and your whore for the glory of the Sound Village killed them," a sound shinobi said. Everyone was using jutsu and weapons throwing at them while Naruto and Hinata just standing there bored when the attack collided them, but to their shock Naruto used his Rinnegan abilities to repel the attack at them, killing 100 shinobi at once. They were blood and gore everywhere as the two standing there with unamused expression on their face. "This is why human are too stupid, they don't know when to quit and just throw away their worthless lives," Naruto said. "I agree, Naruto-kun, how are we used to be on the same species as them, I never know," Hinata said. "Let's go, I sense that snake bastard and his pet in the base," Naruto said as the two walk in the underground base and killing the remaining sound shinobi there. They see the snake Sannin himself with Kabuto and few shinobi. "Hello Orochimaru, I see you still loving disgust as ever," Naruto said. "Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, I heard what you and your wife did to the village, and I'm impressed, so how about a position as you two will join me and we will destroy Konoha together," Orochimaru said. "You hear that, Naruto-kun, this snake pedo wants us to work for him, can't you believe this weakling," Hinata said. "I agree, do he really think we serve a pathetic human failure, Orochimaru, we refuse to work a disgusting creature like you," Naruto said. "What a shame, well, I just had to kill you both for destroying my village and took away my future vessel, Sasuke-kun," Orochimaru said as he grabs his Kusanagi sword out of his mouth and rushes at Naruto but was repelled back by him, active the Rinnegan in his eyes while Hinata active Tenseigan in her eyes. "So that the Rinnegan and the Tenseigan, those eyes will be mine, all of you attack," Orochimaru said, commanding his forces as the sound shinobi were attacking them, but Hinata had enough of this and used her Tenseigan to summon a boulder at them, killing them all except for Orochimaru and Kabuto as the only two left. "So Orochimaru, it looks like you and your butt buddy are left, well timed to die," Naruto said as he used his claws to kill them. But he was blocked by a man with orange hair with two other people. "Well, it looks like we missed some rats, well timed to exterminated them," Naruto said. Orochimaru, seeing his chance, was trying to escape but he was blocked by Hinata. "Where do you think you going, snake?" Hinata said. "Oh, what this, you want to kill me, silly girl, I'm immortal, I can't be killed by the likes of you," Orochimaru said. "Naruto-kun, we should separate them, I deal with Kabuto and the woman with glasses," Hinata said. "Fine Hinata-chan, just don't play with your food, okay," Naruto said as Hinata agrees and take those two away from here. Hinata vs Kabuto. "So you're Kabuto, I sees you in the Chunin exams to think you work for that snake pedo," it discussed, Hinata said. "Quiet girl, I serve Orochimaru-sama and there no way I lose to some Hyuga bitch," Kabuto said as he charges in attempt to kill her but was stopped a giant golem created by Hinata and was sent back flying to the wall, knocked down. "Pathetic Kabuto, I can't believe Orochimaru saves a weakling like you," Hinata said as she moves to kill him. Golden chakra chains was coming at her. Hinata, seeing this, flew up to the air and see the person who sent this chain, it was a woman with red hair. "You bitch, who are you?" Hinata said. The woman answer for her, "My name is Karen Uzumaki from the Uzumaki clan," Karen said. "Wait, you're an Uzumaki just like Naruto-kun," Hinata said. "Yes, and I wish to join you and Naruto," Karen said. "Why would I let you join us, are you Orochimaru lackey?" Hinata said. "Never, I want to serve that disgust bastard, and besides the Uzumaki clan has a motto of family above all and Naruto is a distant cousin of mine," Karen said. Hinata sees no lies in her and smile at this. "Okay, you live to service, is that agreeable?" Hinata said. "Yes, Hinata-sama, I will live to serve you, and Naruto-sama," Karen said. "Good, release this chain off of me so I can kill 4 eyes over there," Hinata said, pointing at Kabuto over there. Kabuto seeing this treachery and was raging at this. "Karen, you bitch, you dare betray Lord Orochimaru," Kabuto said with rage. "Orochimaru never cared about anyone but himself, so why should I serve an disgusting creature like him?" Karen said as she releases the chains off of Hinata and ran in the safe distance. "Kabuto, you won't kill her, she part of our clan and we Uzumaki don't like anyone who hurt one of our own," Hinata said as she rushes at him, grabs him by the chokehold and snap his head, which result of him dead. Hinata grabs her sword and decapitate Kabuto head as she took it with her and walks straight to Karen. "Okay, let's go to my husband, he will give you a nice home for his kin," Hinata said. "Yes, Hinata-sama," Karen said as they both left Kabuto body with no head alone with the wild creature. Naruto vs Orochimaru. "Now before we begin, you fish man, are you from Kiri, and that sword you had, where did you get it?" The man answers for him, "My name is Sugetsu Hizuka and yes, I was from Kiri and the sword was from Zabuza grave," he said. Are you one of the 7 ninja swordmen? Naruto questioned. Yes, I am, Sugetsu said. What, that big guy over there? Naruto said, point the man with orange hair. The man walks up to him. My name is Jugo, and I serve Lord Orochimaru, Jugo said. So, Jugo and Sugetsu, it's an honor to meet you, but I kind of busy, so move and I let you both live, Naruto said. Never, I serve Lord Orochimaru, it's my duty to protect him, Jugo said. Why would you two want to work for that snake bastard? He just using you to get what he wants. Why would I answer someone from the Leaf who killed my best friend, Jugo said. What are you talking about? I never killed your friend, and never talk about the worthless village to me, Naruto said, angrily hearing Konoha name. You Leaf bastard killed Kimimaro, didn't you? Jugo said. Naruto has heard that name, the same man who Lee and Gaara fight. Listen, I didn't killed Kimimaro, it was a Leaf shinobi and the case cage, Gaara, Naruto said. Liar, Orochimaru told me you killed him, Jugo said. So you believe that lying snake? Well then perhaps I will teach you some manners, Naruto said as he rushes at the two and uses Rinnegan to push Jugo and Sugetsu back. Sugetsu got up and used his sword to attack Naruto, but Naruto grabs his sword from him and kicked him back. Jugo was in his bloodthirsty rage and active his curse mark to charge at Naruto, but Naruto grabbed him and see his condition, he knocked Jugo down unconscious. Water-style water shark bomb jutsu, Sugetsu said as a water shark was heading at Naruto, but he uses his Rinnegan to repel that attack and use a lighting-style dragon thunder jutsu at Sugetsu, who seeing this tried to move but was too late and was shocked completely, but still alive, but was down for the count. Naruto looks at the two and think he can convince them to join him and Hinata for the destruction of Konoha. Now where is the snake bastard? Naruto said as he sees Orochimaru running away. Orochimaru was running as fast as he can, but he was trapped and sensed someone close up to him and see Naruto. So snake bastard, you think you can run? Think again, you will die by my hands, Naruto said. Oh please, who are you fooling at? You are not immortal, you just a sad man who's scared of dying and tries to do anything to live. You're just like those other worthless sanins, Naruto said. Orochimaru got angry at the comments. You dare compare to me with those two, especially tot pervert Jiraiya, Orochimaru said. Yes, I do. You 3 Sannin are pathetic and disgrace to the Sannin named. Jiraiya does nothing but peep on girls and write that porn book and leeches off of people who does better than him, and he has no shame. Hell, he never finishes Sage mode and relies on those ugly toads for everything. Tsunade is a drunken bitch who does nothing but gambles and drinks sake all the time, and everyone call her the legendary medic nin. Please, she just a wash-off old hag who can't get over her past and bring disgrace to Senju and Uzumaki clans. And you, Orochimaru, you are a sick pedophile who's so desperate for immortality that you go around and finding little boys and promise them power just like the emo duck. But Uchiha, guess you and him are alike, prodigies and greed always wanted more. That why my father is better than you, Naruto said. Orochimaru had enough of this and charged madly at him, but was caught by Naruto. Red chakra chins with spikes wrap around him as he was trapped. Release me, demon, I'm the legendary Sannin. Orochimaru, you are nothing but a loser, Orochimaru said. Oh shut the fuck up already and just die, Naruto said as he active his Rinnegan and took Orochimaru's soul out of his body and send it to the hell where the Shinigami resides. Orochimaru's lifeless body was on the floor as Naruto used a fire jutsu to burn it to ashes, signal he gone for good. There one less Sannin to deal with, but Iwa and Kumo still cause a threat to me and Hinata. Naruto-kun. Naruto looks around and see Hinata and a red-haired woman with her. Hinata, what happened? Where Kabuto at? Naruto said. Kabuto is dead, I took his head, Hinata said as she shows Naruto the head of Kabuto as he was smiling at this. Nice work, Hinata-chan, Naruto said, kissing her as she kisses back. Who the women? Naruto said. Lord Naruto, my name is Karen Uzumaki from the Uzumaki clan and your distant cousin, Karen said. You're an Uzumaki like me, are there any more? Naruto said. I don't know, Naruto-sama, but I think it just you and me, Karen said. Well, let's head back to Uzushio to talk some more and those two will come with us, Naruto said as he grabs Sugetsu and Jugo bodies and all 5 of them left to Uzushio. Unknowing to them, a toad was watching this and poof away. Uzushio Gakure. Naruto and Hinata just arrived at Uzushio with Karen, Jugo, and Sugetsu as the 5 settle down. Alright, make yourself comfy, Karen, while I take those 2 to heal and convince them to join us to help to stop corruption in the shinobi world, Naruto said as he takes them to the healing medic room with Hinata. Karen look around and see her old homeland was repair and rebuilt into a futuristic village. She wonders how Naruto-sama and Hinata-sama did all of this as she look at the Uzumaki symbol still standing and looks brand new. She misses her home and her mother and wander around to find any records, any Uzumaki survivors. On her ways she sees buildings being rebuilt, all school and hospital in shape, and sees some people but not Uzumaki, only refugees and orphaned children who lost their homes and family till Naruto and Hinata saves them and gives them a home in Uzushio. Karen was speechless to think Tutu will help those who only wanted to live in peace as she wanders off trying to find her purpose. Medic room. Hinata and other doctors are healing the two former sound shinobi as Naruto can inside to check. How are they doing? Will they be alright? Naruto said. They've been fine in about a week, all they need some rest, Hinata said. Good, because I just receive a word from our spy. It seems Konoha Council and the old hag will try to find us and ask us to help in the war and also use a seal to control us, Naruto said. Hinata was angry at this. They dare to ask us, not after what they done. They no way we do it. I refuse, Hinata said angrily. I agree as well, Hinata. Konoha is nothing but scum. They already send some shinobi to find us, Naruto said. HMPH, let them. I make sure to send them back in body bags, Hinata said smirky. Same here, Naruto said. Konohagakure, Hokage office. Tsunade was doing her paperwork when she receives a message scroll from the Toads. As she grabs it and opens the scroll and reads the context as she reads, she was shocked and summoned an Anbu. Anbu summons the council at once, Tsunade said. Yes, Hokage-sama. Konohagakure Pav. Tsunade has ordered a council meeting as everyone arrived. Lady Hokage, what this all about? Shikaku said. I want to know. Well, Homura said. Well, everyone, I received a message from Jiraiya Toad that Otogakure has been destroyed, Tsunade said, shocked the whole council. What? How is that possible? What could have caused this and who did it? Kaharu said. It was Naruto and Hinata, as they destroyed everything and kill all Oto shinobi including Orochimaru and Kabuto, Tsunade said, shocked everyone that Orochimaru is dead. How did Naruto and Hinata do that? How much stronger are they? Inochi said. Well, it seems that Naruto has used Orochimaru's ego against him and used his Rinnegan to pull Orochimaru's soul out of his body, killing him while Hinata behead Kabuto and burning the body, Tsunade said. Well, that good news for us then. Now only Kumo and Iwa we had to deal with, Kaharu said. But there more. Naruto and Hinata flew off with 3 people who used to work for Orochimaru joined him, and to one more thing, one of them is a Uzumaki girl like him, Tsunade said. Another Uzumaki, we should capture her and Naruto and use them as breeding tool for the Uzumaki clan to control, Homura said. Agree, that boy and his whore will pay for what they did to Konoha, Kaharu said. But why would Naruto attack Orochimaru anyway? Shikaku said. Because Naruto won't have anyone get in his way from destroyed Konoha, so we need to stop him before that happens, Tsunade said. Tsunade, what about the Akatsuki? Have they made any moves yet? Homura said. No, they are laying low for a while, but at Kumo and Iwa will be more trouble with, Tsunade said. Then I suggest we send a team to Uzushio to get Naruto and Hinata and bring them back here as our weapons, Kaharu said. I will handle that. This meeting is over. Dismissed, Tsunade said as everyone left. Hokage office. Pav. Tsunade is looking at 4 teams we're assigning by here to head to Uzushio to bring back Naruto and Hinata. Okay everyone, you all heard about what happened in Oto, Tsunade said. Everyone nodded at this, shock that Orochimaru is dead, but more from Sasuke that his curse mark is gone and lost all of that power, and he angry at Naruto for taking away that power. Good, then all of you will head to Uzushio to capture Naruto Uzumaki and Hinata Uzumaki as they're to be brought back here to this village, Tsunade said. Are you should that wise Team 7 encounter those two, and look what happened, Asuma said, and Team 7 were angry at this. I know, but Naruto is to be brought back here with Hinata as the two has the Rinnegan and the Tenseigan, and besides there are weapons they should service, Tsunade said. And if they refuse to come with us, Kurenai said. Use force and Jiraiya will accompany all of you to seal their chakras, Tsunade said. Good, at time to pay that Dobi back for taking away my power, Sasuke said. That bitch will pay for what she did to me, Sakura said. Well sister, it time for you to pay for killing my clan and taking away my chance for having kids, Hanabi said as she was part of Team 8 with Kiba. But Lady Tsunade, what about the seals around Uzushio? Tenten said. Don't worry, Jiraiya might found a way to get in, Tsunade said. What about Naruto demon power? Kiba said. We have someone who can use wood style that can suppress Biju power as an Anbu came and his name is Yamato. Hello, all of you, Yamato said. Good that everything, then you will all leave in an hour, Tsunade said as everyone left except for Jiraiya. Tsunade, do you really think this team will handle this mission? Look what happened to the Case Cage mission, Jiraiya said. I know, but since Orochimaru is dead we only had to deal with Kumo and Iwa, and since Naruto and Hinata did a favor for us we might survive this, Tsunade said. But you know well Naruto didn't kill Orochimaru for Konoha, he only did it because one of his clan members were there, Jiraiya said. Who cares, the Uzumaki are all gone, this doesn't change everything. Naruto will be brought back here as our weapon and Hinata will be punished for her actions, Tsunade said madly at this. This may come back to bite us, but I will go to Uzushio, Jiraiya said as he left, leaving Tsunade alone at her office when she sees the 4 Hokage's pictures glaring at her as she brushes it off, signals that she never cares and continue her work. Uzushioga Kirpov. Naruto has received message from one of his spies that Konoha has sent a team to head to Uzushio as he and Hinata has heard the message and was ready for them to come. So, Naruto-kun, it seems they don't learn so they rush to their death, Hinata said. Figure that old hag will do something like this, and they have someone who can use wood style like me. Pathetic. Are you ready, Hinata-chan? Naruto said as she nodded and was prepared to wait for them to come. As they were about to head out, they heard a voice that came from Karen who wants to ask them something. Naruto-sama and Hinata-sama, please let me join you, Karen said. Why would we let you join us? You haven't trained that much, Hinata said. I know I'm not that much of a fighter, but like Naruto I can use chakra chains, Karen said. Karen, it too dangerous for you to come, but it you must, you came, come, but be careful, Naruto said. Thank you, Naruto-sama, Karen said, bowing as she was preparing her ninja gear. Naruto-kun, why did you let her come? Hinata said. Because Konoha is also after her, and like any Uzumaki she won't take no for an answer, and besides I seen her training so much, and when I sense her chakra is that of low cage level, and to be honestly when she looks at me, she blushes, but she knows I have you, Naruto said. Oh really, this girl had a crush on my husband. Well, since you are the last heir of the Uzumaki clan I should let you be with her as well, Hinata said. Wait, Hinata, are you serious? Naruto said. I am, because you have so much stamina. I can't keep up with you, so I can ask her to be with you, Hinata said. But Hinata, you have been with me since childhood, Naruto said. I know, but she from a clan and she really likes you, Hinata said. As Naruto was thinking, Karen overheard this and came up to them. It's true, Naruto-kun, Karen said. Karen, what are you saying? Naruto said. Ever since you and Hinata saved me I had felt a warm feeling in my heart, and when I see you handsome face, I blush hard. So Naruto-kun, I love you, Karen said. Naruto came up to her and kisses her on the lips as she kisses back, as Hinata got a little jealous at this as Naruto grabs her and kiss her as well. Hinata-chan, Karen-chan, thank you both for loving me, Naruto said. No problem, Naruto-kun, Karen said. You will always be in our hearts, Hinata said. So, Karen, if you want to be with us, we will transform you into a fox demon. Is that okay with you? Naruto said. I don't mind, Naruto, please turn me into a demon, Karen said as Naruto and Hinata used their power to transform Karen into a fox demon as she became a red fox demon of chains as Karen fox form was stronger and faster. She thanks Naruto and Hinata and hugs them as the two were happy that another one has become a member of the family. So, girls ready to take down Konoha shinobi? Naruto said. Yes, Naruto-kun, those fools will pay for what they did to you, Karen said. Agree, sister Karen, Konoha will suffer, Hinata said. Let go, Naruto said as he and his wives left. Uzushioga Kirpov. Konoha shinobi has arrived in the borders of Uzushio as when they see the village it looks like a brand new rebuilt village as they see people walking with smiles on their faces, new stores, transportation vehicles and ships that came from the modern era. Konoha also sees statues of Naruto and Hinata as everyone was praising them as their rules. Everyone was shocked at this, that the two shinobi who were outcast and banished were now rulers of the new Uzushio, as this enraged them. How the hell Naruto and Hinata did all this? Jiraiya said. I don't know, but it seems everyone is calling them as King and Queen Kakashi. They are not ruling, only an Uchiha like me should be king, Sasuke said. That right, and as queen myself I will rule with Sasuke-kun, Sakura said. Let just find them already, Asuma said. As they continue to look for them, suddenly everyone formed Konoha were transporter outside of the Uzushio as they were confused on what just happened. When they see three figures on front of them as they recognize as Naruto and his two wives has appear. Well, look at this, it seems we had rat infection, Naruto said. Looks like it, to think they would come here without us noticed them, Hinata said. We should, some of them. Who are they messing with, Karen said. Everyone in Konoha was shocked at this. Naruto and Hinata has shown but looks different as Jiraiya step up. Naruto, Uzumaki and Hinata, Hyuga, you are to be brought back to Konoha from the orders of Lady Hokage, Jiraiya said. And why would we do that? We had no interest in returning to that swap village, Naruto said. Jiraiya, it seems you forget I'm not a Hyuga anymore, I'm a Uzumaki, Hinata said. Hinata, you must come back and leave this demon as your sensei, that an order, Kurenai said. Shut the fuck up, bitch, you're not my sensei, not after what you did to my husband, Hinata said. So, sister, it is true you had tainted the Hyuga clan with this abomination, Hanabi said. Quiet, weaking, should you be at home with the clan or wait? Never mind, they're dead except for you, that fate-loving fool, and that worthless man, Hinata said with a smirk. Damn you, bitch, because of you the Hyuga clan is gone and I can't never have kids again, Hanabi said furiously. Naruto, you will return to the leaf if we will use force, Kakashi said. Never there, now way, we are coming back, Tom, that village, so you can place seals on me and Hinata as weapons, Naruto said as Konoha was shocked about this on how they knew. So, you know about our true intentions. Well, doesn't matter, you will return as the leaf weapon, Jiraiya said. To think my father would ever name you as my godfather, Naruto said. You are no godson of mine, because of your birth my precious student died, Jiraiya said. Pathetic, just like that old hag. No, I will give you fools one chance, leave and never return or face our wrath, Naruto said. Never, demon, you will return as our weapon, Kakashi said. Find them, but before we fight, I like you all to meet my second wife, Karen Uzumaki, Naruto said as Karen steps up in her red fox form. So, you are the bastard who betrayed my husband, and for that you will all die, Karen said. So, this is the Uzumaki that Orochimaru took. We that good, we will bring her as well to revive the Uzumaki clan and control them, Jiraiya said. Never, I would let you do that to my wife, Naruto said. Hinata, leave that doby and come to a real alpha, Kiba said. Shut up, why would I leave my husband for a perverted dog like you, Hinata said. Bitch, I will make you pay for hurting my face and giving me this scar. Now I will never look beautiful ever again, Sakura. Please, you were always ugly before and after, so shut up, whore, Hinata said. Hinata, why would you do this to your own team and kill Shino, Kurenai said. Because you all knew I loved Naruto and you bastard betrayed him, as I told Naruto everything, Hinata said. Then so be it, Hinata, as of today you are no longer my student but a demon just like your husband, Kurenai said. Please, you are just like that perverted one-eyed fool, always show favorism and hated Naruto for what being a demon. Well, no more, Hinata said. Enough of this, all Konoha shinobi attack, Jiraiya said as everyone charge at them as the three smirk and use a jutsu to separate Konoha group. What happened, Kakashi said as he, Jiraiya, Yamato and Sasuke were here as they see Naruto facing them with a smirk. Simple fools, we separate the group as a game, Naruto said. You bastard, you think this is a game, Jiraiya said. Yes, now let begin, Naruto said as he and the four clash. Karen versus Team Asuma and Team Guy with their sensei. I will make you fools pay for betray my love, Karen said as she uses water-style water dragon jutsu as a big water dragon come out and attack them, but some dodges but were hurt. Damn it, she's strong, Asuma said. But we had the higher numbers, Tenten said. Let coordinate and finish her, Ino said. Karen sees them as she knows what their jutsu and plans are since Naruto told her all of Konoha shinobi skill as she was getting ready. Ino used her mind transfer jutsu to aim at her to get inside her mind, but Karen in her fox form sees this and kicked her back to the ground. Then Shikamaru and Choji use their combine attack of Shadow Paralyze and the human boulder to trap her, but she active her chains and wrap them both. Asuma use his wind blades to rush at her, but her chains defend her and transform the chains into a golem to punch Asuma, sending him flying. Tenten use her scroll to summon a barrage of weapons at her, but she uses her chains that were coated in lighting to grab the weapons as they were covered in lighting and redirect them back at Tenten as she was dodges them all, but it was too many of them as she was hurt by lighting as she was down. Might Guy use his 8 inner gates to use taijutsu on her, but she knows a bit as the two were fighting in taijutsu stance, but Karen with her fox form had the upper hand and take down Guy with a kick and use her chains to cover her arms and legs to punch and kick him with chains as Gut was bleeding everywhere as he was down. Karen looks at the two teams who were defeated and smirk at this as she sees Tenten got up and tries to use her sword, but Karen laughs at this and summon her chains of spike and coated in fire as Tenten was wrapped in them as the chains start glow red as her whole body as she was screaming in pain. Please. Stop. No. More Tenten scream in agony. But Karen looks at the scream girl and smirk evilly as she was burnt into ashes as everyone saw this that Tenten is dead by this girl. Karen looks at them and use her earth jutsu to summon earth creature and tells them to knock them out as Team 10 and Guy were unconscious and lay there in defeat as Karen smirk and left. Hinata versus Team 8 and Sakura. So, I am facing the 4 worthless shinobi very well. Let begin, Hinata said as she active her Tenseigan and summon a big creature made of water and attack them. The creature rushes at them as it knocks the 4 of them back as Hinata was smiling at their pain as she sends the creature back and disappear as she wants them to come at her. Kurenai has looked at her and shocked that she has gotten stronger over the past 3 years as she helps Sakura and Hanabi got up while Kiba and Akamaru were okay. Damn, when did she get this powerful? Kiba said. 3 years with Naruto has helped her to reach this level, Sakura said. Damn it, that worthless sister is still think she better than me and those eyes she had is giving her more power, Hanabi said. Right now, we need to take her down, Kurenai said. So, what are you fools waiting for, or should I go first and seize you weaklings in despair, Hinata said. I show you despair, prepared to see the power of a true Hyuga and make you pay for killing my clan members, Hanabi said as she active her Byakugan as she rushes at her, but Hinata was smirking at this and used the flying Raijin to move right behind her and stab her in the chest with a kunai and kick her to the ground as Hanabi was bleeding and sees her sister look down at her with a disgust. How pathetic, I should kill you now, Hinata said as she was to kill her. She senses a fang over fang coming at her and dodges it as she sees Kiba and Akamaru protect Hanabi. Hinata, what the fuck, are you really that heartless that you will kill your own kin? Kiba said with rage. Who cares about them? They are not family to me, only my Naruto-kun, and as his wife I will protect him and our home, Hinata said. Hinata, this is not you, that demon fault, please come back to me, Hinata-chan, Kiba said. Hinata got mad at what Kiba called her as her eyes turned red and glares at Kiba with anger expression. You dirty mud never called me Hinata-chan, only my fox lover can called me. You are nothing but a disgusting human, Hinata said with rages. Kiba was broken. Hinata, the one that he loves, has insulted him as he was broken, but something just snaps as he got up and looks at Hinata in rage. You will be mine, Hinata, as my slave, Kiba said as he rushes at her, but Hinata seeing this and as a water cage to trap Kiba as he was drowning. Then the cage got smaller and smaller as Kiba was out of breath and drowned in water, but Hinata added blades into the cage and pierced through Kiba into pieces as blood was everywhere in that cage. Akamaru was howling in pain that his owner was dead as Hinata seeing this cut off Akamaru's head from the body and blood was gushing out signaling he was dead. Kurenai was shocked that another one of her students were killed by Hinata as she was crying at this. Sakura was shocked that how cruel this monster is as Hinata seeing her scare she walks up to her with an evil wicked grin. Sakura was scared, her legs weren't moving as her face had a look of despair as she was crying at this. Hinata, the shy little girl, had just became a monster, no worse, a demon. Please Hinata, I'm sorry for everything, don't kill me please, Sakura saying with tears on her face as she was begging for her life. Why should I let you live after what you did to Naruto-kun, after all the times he helped you and saved you? You just hit him, insult him, berated him, and worst of all slapped him because he hurt your precious Uchiha, Hinata said, almost getting mad at this bitch. I'm sorry, please spare me, Sakura said. Never bitch, goodbye, Hinata said as she shoves into Sakura's chest and pulls out her heart, leaving Sakura's lifeless body as she died. Hanabi was shocked seeing her sister killed another one of her comrades as she was screaming in rage at this. You bitch, you killed them, your own friends, how could you? Are not my sister anymore, Hanabi shouted with tears of rage as she recklessly charges at her with her eyes active and her Jiyuken strike were active. Hinata looks at her with a bored look on her face and uses her fox tails to grab her and looks at her with a wicked grin. Oh, foolish little sister, I never cared for you anywhere, the only reason I spare you was out if a whim, but now you annoyed me, so it's time for you to join the other Hyugas in hell, Hinata said. Hanabi looks at her and for the first time she was scared for her life as she tries to move away, but Hinata's tails were holding her tight as she seen Hinata active a mini-tailed beast bomb at Hanabi. Please Oni-chan, don't do this to your sister, we're family, Hanabi said with tears coming out of her. Sorry, I have no sister, Hinata said as she fires the tailed beast bomb at her head, blowing it up as Hinata sees a headless Hanabi and drops the body. Kurenai was dead. Silence. 3 shinobi were killed as she was crying and looks at Hinata with rage and anger. Hinata, how could you do this? Your own friends and family, you demon bitch, Kurenai said with tears on her face. Hinata looks at her with an emotionless look on her face and tells her to shut up as she left, leaving a broken down Kurenai on the ground with tears streaming down her face, and cursed Hinata for this. Naruto vs Kakashi, Sasuke, Jiraiya, and Yamato. Naruto with his Rinnegan active uses his Shinran Tensei to push the back as the 4 were in pain and had blood everywhere. So, this the best Konoha had got. Pathetic, seriously pathetic. 3 years and this is Konoha power, such ashamed, Naruto said. You think you're better than me, Dobi, you're nothing but a demon, while I, the Uchiha elite, will be a king by taking you down and taking your kingdom, as the Uchiha will always be better, Sasuke said. Please, weakling, you nothing but a failed, and now I will finish you off, Naruto said as he rushes at Sasuke and chops him into pieces as Kakashi and the others were shocked that Sasuke was cut into pieces and was dead. Naruto laughed at this as Kakashi was filled with rage that his student was killed, so he used a Chidori to lunge at Naruto, but he moves in a flying Raijin and kicked Kakashi hard, knocking him out. Pathetic fool, you think you can take me down? Don't you remember what happened? Naruto said. Damn you, Naruto, you dare hurt one of your comrades and killed the last Uchiha. Your father would be ashamed of you, Jiraiya said. My father wanted me to be treated as a hero, but you fools can't get over your hatred, Naruto said. You won't get away with this, Jiraiya said as he uses his summons jutsu to summon the toads, as Naruto smirk at this. Wow, you summons those filthy toads, that cute, Naruto said. Quiet brat, all toads charge, Jiraiya said as the toads rushes at him, but they were caught in chains, as Naruto smirks at this as made spikes out of it, hurting the toads as they all poof back to Mount Myoboku. What happened? How are you so strong? Jiraiya said. That none of your concerned, toad perverted, Naruto said. Wood-style wood dragon jutsu, Yamato said as he unleashes a wood dragon heading straight at Naruto, but Naruto sees this and burns the wood dragon and rushes at Yamato, cutting off his head with his sword as blood was exploding everywhere. So perverted, just you so choose, will you keep fighting and die or surrender and head back to that worthless village? Naruto said. Damn you, Naruto, this isn't over, Jiraiya said as he grabs Kakashi and retreat to Konoha with the other Konoha shinobi. Don't worry, Jiraiya, Konoha will fail by our hands, Naruto said as he sees his 2 wives coming up at him with hugs as they tell him that Konoha shinobi had retreated, with some are dead. Let's head back to our home, Naruto said. Okay, Naruto-kun, Hinata and Karen said. The 3 flew up, unaware that a plant-like creature was watching this, and head back to the ground. Akatsuki Pav. All members of the Akatsuki except for the 4 were killed has appeared as they were discussing what has happened in the elemental nations, as their leader Pain has spoken. Greeting everyone, I have called this meeting because Zetsu has some news. What has happened with the banished Jinchuriki? Pain said. What news is it? We already had all tailed beasts except the 8 and 9 tails, Kisame said. Zetsu, would you like to explain us what happened? Pain said. Yes, Lord Pain, Zetsu said as he explains what happened in Uzushio, that it has rebuilt and the Kyuubi brat and his wives are now rulers, Zetsu said. So that brat has rebuilt his home, Kisame said. Yes, and now Uzushio has made it one of the 5 great nations, but there are more, Zetsu said. What is it? Itachi said. Orochimaru is dead and his village is destroying, but Naruto Uzumaki has took 3 people, one of them is an Uzumaki whom his wife is, Zetsu said. The Akatsuki members were shocked at this. Orochimaru was weak but still a formidable shinobi, and now he dead and Naruto killed. Wait, who are the 3 people that Uzumaki brat took? We know he took the Uzumaki girl. Who are the other 2? Kisame said. The other 2 are Suigetsu Hazuka and Jugo, Zetsu said. That brat Hazuka, I know him, he has a brother who is one of the 7 ninja swordmen of the mist, Kisame said. Why did Naruto Uzumaki take them? Itachi said. To convince them to join him to take down Konoha, Zetsu said. Ha, figures, but since that brat has the ability to convince people, if possible, Kisame said. Tell them more, Zetsu. Pain. Well, it seems Konoha shinobi has come to Uzushio to bring Naruto and his wives back to help them in the war as their weapons. However, they were defeated and about 6 shinobi died, that includes Sasuke Uchiha, Zetsu said. Itachi was shocked and angry at this. He wanted Sasuke to kill him and to restore the Uchiha name, but because of his brother Foolish and someone killing him, it was over. Who killed Itachi? Brother Conan said. It was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze who killed him, and another shinobi who can use wood style. He cut Sasuke into pieces and decapitated the wood style user. Head Jiraiya has summons all of the toads, but Naruto uses his chains to cuts them all back to their worlds, Zetsu said. What about the other 4 shinobi who were killed? Conan said. His wives did that. The former Hyuga girl killed 3 shinobi, include her sister, as she uses a tailed beast bomb on the Hyuga era's head, Zetsu said, shocked. The Akatsuki. She can use tailed beast bomb, how? Conan said. Well, that Uzumaki brat has transforms him and his wives into fox demons having the same chakra as those tailed beasts, Zetsu said. And who killed the last shinobi? Itachi said. An Uzumaki girl named Karen who uses her chains of fire to burn one of Might Guy's students to ashes, Zetsu said. Wow, who would believe that brat and his wives can be brutal? We should really ask them to join us, Kisame said. That impossible because our goal is to capture all tailed beasts that include him, Conan said. We already have mostly 7 tailed beasts, all we need is the last 2. What about the 8 tails? Pain said. Kumo is hiding their Jinchuriki, but he tends to act on his own sometimes, Zetsu said. Alright, everyone needs to train serious if we are about to target the Kyuubi, Pain said, as the Akatsuki agree as they dispel except one, the orange mask man, who was concerned about the Kyuubi Jinchuriki getting too strong. So Naruto, you have gotten stronger. No matter, this doesn't change anything, my plans will achieve, the orange mask man said as he Kamui out of the base. Uzu Shiogakure Pav. 1 week later, after Konoha shinobi defeated Naruto and his wives were at the medic room, seeing Jugo and Suigetsu were awake but with cuffs and chains as they look at Naruto. I see you both awake, good, I have a proposition for you both and don't worry you can refuse, Naruto said. What is it you want from us? Jugo said. I want you both to join me for the destruction of Konoha, Naruto said. Why would we do that? Suigetsu said. Because it will be fun for the both of you to fight whenever you want, and Jugo, the man who killed you friend, is there. But he can't fight anymore, Naruto said. Wait, that man is there, please take me to him so I can kill him, Jugo said as he wanted to kill that bastard for killing Kimimaro. Naruto also told him that the case cage was there. But he forbade Jugo to kill him as he was Naruto friend. If I join you, can you promise to help me with my revenge? Jugo said. Of course, after all, Konoha is the corruption of all the cause in the whole elemental nations, so I need a few people I can trust, Naruto said. Very well, I will join you, Naruto-sama, Jugo said. Please, enough with that sama crap, we're all friends here, just called me Naruto, okay, he said with a smile as Jugo was shocked seeing this innocent boy pure smile. What about you, Suigetsu? Naruto said. I will join, but I don't have my sword, Suigetsu said as Naruto has his sword and gave to him. Suigetsu has his sword and will join Naruto as he and his wives were happy at this as he told them to train and be prepared for the downfall of Konoha as the two nodded and left to their rooms. Naruto-kun, you sure convinced them to help us, Karen said. Of course, and it because I show them the truth that Orochimaru was using them for his own goals and discard them as tools. So I gave them something to live for and helps them to achieve their goals, Naruto said. What will we do now? Konoha will be upset at this, concerned that we killed 6 shinobi, Hinata said. Tsunade was furious at what happened to the retrieval mission as 6 shinobi are dead, one of them is her apprentice, as she was crying at Sakura death while cursing Hinata and to extent Naruto for this. The council has heard what happened as there were shouts of angers from clan heads and civilians as their Uchiha is dead and wants revenge for this. Hiyashi is furious that his daughter was killed by that demon whore Hinata as the Hyuga clan is gone, making him and Neji the last. Sume and Hana were crying that their son, brother and Akamaru was killed by Hinata as they want to avenge him by killing that bitch. Mebuki and her husband were in tears that their daughter Sakura is gone killed by that bitch Hinata. Tsunade is also shocked that Naruto has married another Uzumaki who killed Tenten with her improved chakra chains, and the council has heard that Uzu Shiogakure has rebuilt into the new village where everything is modern. Tsunade is at the council meeting with everyone present shouting and yelling at this outrage as Tsunade slam her hand down to silence everyone. Good, now everyone is quiet, we need to figure out what to do next, Tsunade said. We should wage war on Uzushio, Kaharu said. We can't fool because we don't have enough combat gear or equipment to fight, not to mention Uzushio has allies everywhere, Tsunade. Then we demand that Demon and his horde to pay compensation for the death of our shinobi, Homura said. You know damn well we starts this and looks what happened, we lost our Uchiha and 5 shinobi, which 2 of them are clan heir and heiress, Tsunade said. Lady Tsunade, I have a suggestion, Shikaku said. What is it? Tsunade said. We can ask Iwa and Kumo to persuade them to join us to attack Uzushio and steal all of their resources and then use them to take down both Iwa and Kumo, and not to mention Kiri and Suna and then other minor village, so Konoha will rule over, Shikaku said. Why would Kumo and Iwa will agree to this? Tsunade said. They don't, but we can manipulate them to our goal by telling them that Uzushio has gotten too stronger for their own good, and they can distract them while we take everything Uzushio has and also killing Naruto and his wives, Shikaku said. Tsunade threw about it as she really wants to kill that brat for causing Konoha to suffer. Agreed to this as everyone was grinning madly evil at this, and sends 2 scrolls to Kumo and Iwa as they did. Good, now that done, we will take down that demon and his whore, as Konoha will rule the elemental nations as gods, Tsunade said, while everyone agreeing to this, unaware that a mini fox was listen to this and disappear in a black smoke. Rookies Pav. Damn those 2 killing Sakura and Sasuke, Ino said. I can't believe Hanabi is gone, Neji said. Tenten, I will avenge your, Lee said. That girl with glasses just took all of us down, Shikamaru said. And now we are the only remaining rookies, Choji said. Naruto, you bastard, you will pay for this, Konohamaru said. Guys, I get the feeling Tsunade will try something crazy, Shikamaru said. Well, what can it be that had you concerned, Ino said. I don't know, but it might be big. For now we wait, Shikamaru said. Junin's Pav. Kurenai, please calm down, Asuma said. How can I? 2 of my students are killed by that bitch who betrayed all of us for that demon. Not Tom mention her own sister was killed by Hinata hand, Kurenai said with rage. Damn, that demon first killing my sensei wasn't bad enough, and now killing my favorite student, and now the Uchiha clan is gone, Kakashi said. I sorry Tenten that I failed you, and now all of my student is gone. With Lee lost his legs and Neji head trauma by that unyouthful demon guy said. Naruto Uzumaki, have you gone too far that you will kill your own friends? That proves that you really are a monster, Iruka said. That bitch will pay for killing my brother, Hana said. Hokage office Pav. Tsunade was drinking while feeling lost, first Kushina and now Sakura, because of those 2, Naruto and Hinata. Damn you Naruto, I should have killed you back then, but now I will finish the job. Prepare for your death, brat, Tsunade said. Lady Tsunade, please calm down, Shizune said. Quiet, can you see I'm in grief? Leave me, Tsunade said as Shizune left, leaving Tsunade alone. Just then Jiraiya came in through the window with a grim expression. Tsunade, we have a problem. The prophecy has changed, Jiraiya said. What do you mean the prophesied change? Tsunade said. It means that Konoha is done, for the great elder Toad told me that the sun demon and the moon demon fox will bring destruction to the village that betrayed them, Jiraiya said. Wait, you mean that Naruto and Hinata are the one will bring destruction to Konoha? Tsunade said while Jiraiya nodded. Tsunade, we need to stop them before the prophecy is fulfilled, Jiraiya said. Don't worry, I had a good plan, Tsunade said. Uzushio Pav. So Naruto-kun, what our plan? Hinata said. Simple, we will take down Kumo and Iwa, as I just received word from our spies that Konoha will ask Kumo and Iwa to convince them attack Uzushio, and knowing Iwa will do anything to take down the son of the 4th, so they might ally with Konoha, and Kumo will do anything to have an Hyuga for the Raikage wife, Naruto said. Good, that bastard Raikage sends his Kumo nin to kidnaps me when I was 3, now it's time for my revenge, Hinata said. My father killed 1,000 of Iwa nins, figure they want payback, so they might attack Uzushio, and I heard that Iwa and Kumo was the one who attacked my clan during the war, and I want payback, Naruto said. When do we leave? Naruto-kun, Karen said as she wanted revenge on the 2 villages for killing her Uzumaki members. All 5 of us will leave tomorrow, Naruto said as Jugo and Suigetsu were done training and their skills are now mid-cage level, as the 4 nodded. What about the Akatsuki? Karen said. After we handle the 2 major village there next, Naruto said. I already told the Mizukage and Kage of what Konoha plan, and they are willing to take down that corrupt village, Naruto said. Foolish Konoha, they never learn, Hinata said with a grin on her face. Okay guys, we will be prepared for tomorrow, Naruto said. As the 4 nodded and wait for Kumo and Iwa downfall and the Akatsuki. Kumo Pav. The Raikage has his spies all over the elemental nations, and here's some good news. He has heard that Uzushio has been rebuilt and the ruler is the son of his enemy the 4th Hokage, and he and his 2 wives are now demons. He also heard that left shinobi was foolish enough to attack the Azukage and failed, result losing 6 shinobi members, with includes the Uchiha and that Hyuga girl, because they thought it was easy to beat them. What foolish. I was upset that the whole Hyuga was wiped out except the Uzumaki wife and her former father, as he wanted a Hyuga to breed with him for Kumo, but thanks to the former heiress being disowned and went crazy and start a massacre killing all Hyugas, she is now the only one left. As I was out of his throughs, a messenger scroll came up, seeing it was Konoha. I open up the message and read it and frowns angrily at this blasphemy of these fools wanted to ally with us, and Iwa as he summons his Kumo shinobi to give the messenger back to Konoha, saying that we refuse to join a weak village who can't control their own shinobi from going rouge and banish loyal shinobi as the Kumo nin left. Those foolish Konoha thinking we will ally with that weaker village. What foolish, but Uzushio is getting too strong and the Uzumaki is the son of the fourth, so we will head to Uzushio to destroy them, I said, but doesn't realize the black fox was listen to him and disappear. Iwagakure Pav. The third Tsuchikage Onoki has heard the Uzushio was rebuilt and their cage is the son of their most hated enemy, and all of Iwa wants to head to Uzushio to kill the Yellow Flash Sun, but tells them that Uzushiogakure has new technology and the Yellow Flash Sun has mastered his father prized jutsu and he and his 2 wives are demons. Not only that, Iwa has lost both Roshi and Han as they were kidnapped and dead by the Akatsuki after the tailed beast was extracted, so Iwa is weakened for now. As Onoki was thinking, a scroll from Konoha appear as he was reading the context and was enraged by this as he burned the message scroll and tell his shinobi, tell Konoha we refuse to join the alliance with a village that betray a loyal shinobi for a traitor. As the Iwa shinobi left, his granddaughter Kuritsuchi came to see what happened. Gramps, what happened? Kuritsuchi said. It seems that Konoha wants us and Kumo to be allies to take down Uzushio and their allies. What foolish, Onoki said. Those fools, why would we allies ourselves with a weaker village that started all this? I may not like the son of the fourth, but he completely a mission to bring back a Rouge shinobi and his reward was banished because so much damage with his Hyuga wife making the leaf weaker, Kuritsuchi said. I also heard that Konoha has lost 6 shinobi in their mission, captured the Namikaze brat and his wives, and on top of it they lost an Uchiha and another Hyuga because of their own arrogance, Onoki said. Well, that's their fault, but we should attack Konoha with Kumo since Orochimaru is dead and his village is destroyed, Kuritsuchi said. I agree, but our shinobi wants to head to Uzushio to kill the son of the fourth and I think we should, Onoki said. Why, I heard him, and his 2 wives are now demons. And he is the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi and we don't have our own hell, only him and the Raikage brother are the only one left since the rest are captured by the Akatsuki, Kuritsuchi said. It because Uzushio has many resources that we needed to make Iwa the strongest village ever and had our revenge on the 4th Hokage, Onoki said. That good, even though that kid did nothing wrong, he was born having that bastard genes, so he shall pay for his father actions, Kuritsuchi said. Then it decides tells our shinobi to be ready to head out to Uzushio to have our revenge, Onoki said as his granddaughter left, but what both didn't know that a black fox was listening on them and head back to Uzushio. Uzushiogakure Pav. Naruto and his group were ready to take down Kumo and Iwa until the black fox appear and tells Naruto everything as he and his group smirk at the foolish of Konoha asking for Kumo and Iwa to ally with them, and even more smirk that Kumo still want an Hyuga to breed, as this pisses Hinata off, and Iwa still want Uzushio resources and kill the 4th son. As Naruto was laughing but had an idea. Hang on, I got an idea, Hinata, I want you and Karen to head to Kumo, but be careful, they still had their Jinchuriki and the Raikage speed is impressive, but since you have my father jutsu and master the Tenseigan and Karen chakra chins, you both will do fine, Naruto said. Thank you, Naruto-kun, the girls said as they kiss him and left off to Kumo for their revenge for Hinata kidnapped and Karen fallen clan. Okay, Suigetsu and Jugo, you will both come with me to Iwa to destroy it since they want to attack Uzushio. It's time to take the fight to them, Naruto said. You got boss, Suigetsu said. Okay, Naruto, Jugo said. Good, let head to Iwa, Naruto said as the 3 flew up. Hinata and Karen Pav. The 2 girls were at Kumo village gates as they were seeing 2 Kumo shinobi guard as Karen used her chains to pierce through their heads, killing them. So, this is Kumo, the village who destroy my clan and kidnapped Naruto mother when she was young, Karen said with anger. Yes, that village will pay for trying to kidnap me when I was young, time for my revenge, Hinata said. Hinata and Karen blast through the village gates as Hinata active her Tenseigan to summons giant Boldlier from the sky to destroy buildings and killing civilians as Hinata was laughing at this and sees the Kumo nin coming, but Karen unleashed her chains and pierced through 500 Kumo nin through the head as they were dead. Karen, can you handle the Kumo nin? I will find that bastard Raikage and his brother, Hinata said. No problem Hinata, I will show these bastards to never mess in Uzumaki, Karen said. Hinata left to find the Raikage as Karen was surrounded by Kumo nin everywhere. So, you're the bitch who has been causing trouble, you dare come here and cause chaos, Karui said as she Samui Omoi Dari and C appeared with about 500 Kumo nin with their weapons out as Karen seeing this and laugh at this display of fools. Wow, more toys to play with, it time to show you the power of a demon red fox, Karen said. Wait, I see you're that Namikaze brat whore, so that means the son of the fourth is here, Samui said. Karen got mad at this and to everyone's shock she rushes at Samui and chop off her head as the rest was horrified that Samui is killed as they were all charging at her with their jutsu, but Karen use her shadow clones that Naruto help her with and use 5 clones and active her chains piece through every shinobi head and burning them alive as they were screaming into ashes. Expect 4 shinobi who dodges it. She killed almost all of our shinobi, C said. This girl is a monster, Omoi said. We need to stop her, we are Kumo shinobi and she is just one girl, Karui said. No, she not alone, my scouts told me that the Hyuga girl is her and looking for the Raikage, Darui said. What, we need to save him, Karui shouted angrily. You won't stop Hinata until you defeat me, and to be honest you Kumo shinobi are weak, Karen said smirking at the angry shinobi. Damn you bitch, we will show you, attack, Karui said as the 4 surviving shinobi rushing at her, but Karen dodges each of the attack and use her water style wave of water as a big wave pushed them back. Damn you bitch, storm release laser circus, Darui said, but Karen dodged that jutsu as use earth style earthquake as an earthquake was shaking under Dari as he fell down on the ground, but he didn't see the chains pierce through his whole body as he was bleeding and now lifeless. No, Darui C said as he uses his lighting style. Lightning release. Lightning illusion flash of lightning pillar. As a C entire body made out of light and runs fast to attack Karen, but was caught by so many chains around him and was turned into spikes as C body was bleeding everywhere but his head as Karen got close to him and chop off his head as Karui and Omoi were watching this and was angry that their friends were killed as Karen had enough and use water style water cage as both Karui and Omoi were trapped and can't find a way out as they see Karen use her foxtails and pierce through their chest killing them as Karen is done with them and see there more shinobi to play as she left. Hinata Pav. Hinata was at the Raikage mansion as on her way she was killing Kumo shinobi everywhere as she sees the Raikage and his brother the Jinchuriki the 8 tails as she glares at them. I seen his shinobi were killed by this Hyuga girl and was enraged by this but sees Hinata eyes and knows who she is. So, you're that Hyuga girl that my Kumo shinobi helped kidnap you when you were young who knew you became good, you will be use a breeding tool for the glory of the village, I said. Never, you fucking scum, I already married to someone way better than your old man and it's time for you to die and your brother to be brought back to Uzushio to be captured, Hinata said. B looks at Hinata and sense that she has Kyubi in her but different. How do you have the fox power, B said. What do you mean, B, I said. It seems he no matter then I will tell you this, me and my harem sister are now fox demons along with my husband Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze who is at Iwa, Hinata said. What the brat is at Iwa, why, I said. You don't need to know because you will die by my hands, Hinata said as she active her Tenseigan and rushes at them as B uses his tailed beast power but was overwhelmed by Hinata tailed beast's power and use a tailed beast bomb heading straight at B knocking him out. B, I said, shouted that his whole body was covered in lighting and tries to do a lariat on her but Hinata kicked him back and use her sword to cut off the Raikage right arm as he screams in pain. R R R R R R R R R R R R R R G G G G G G G G G G G G H H H H H H H H my arm, damn you bitch, I shouted angrily at the severed arm as Hinata was laughing at his pain as her eyes were red and her Tenseigan has become more brighter as she uses her sword and made it golden and bigger to slice of I body in half, killing him and destroying the Raikage mansion as Hinata was done and sees Karen coming and tells her the all of Kumo nin and civilians were all killed as they both smile and left the village, but before that Hinata has used a water jutsu to flood the whole village and left with B in her hands and Karen joined her back to Uzushio. What they didn't know that a toad was watching this and poof away. Naruto, Suigetsu, and Jugo Pav. The three shinobi were at Iwa as they see so many Iwa nin were at the front gate as they knew where they are heading to, but was too late as Naruto uses his Rinnegan to push back all Iwa shinobi back into the village as everyone sees three figures as they know who the blonde one is. It him that Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Iwa shinobi shouted angrily. As about every shinobi were rushing at him, but Naruto uses giant Rasengan and slams it to them, killing almost 500 Iwa shinobi. You two have you fun with them, will find the Tsuchikage, Naruto said as the two nodded and hold them back while Naruto left to find Onoki. So you fools are working with that Namikaze brat, well then prepare to die. All shinobi attack Iwa shinobi, one said as they use their jutsu and weapons as Jugo covers him and Suigetsu uses his sword and slicing so many Iwa nin while Jugo has control of his sage nature and use piston fist to hurt Iwa nin while absorbing chakra out of them. This is the best of Iwa shinobi, how pathetic to think they can attack Naruto, Jugo said. The boss father sure had made so many Iwa nin during the war and now Naruto will finish the job, Suigetsu said as he was using his water-style water blob to drown Iwa nin to their deaths as Jugo was attack them till he sees Kuritsuchi rushing at her with her lava-style shooting lava balls at him, but Suigetsu defending him as the two looks at her. How dare your asshole attack Iwa, Kuritsuchi said. Well, we know about you plan to attack Uzushio, so we attack you fools first, Suigetsu said, shocked Kuritsuchi about how they know, but it doesn't matter, she will defend her home as she use earth-style earth golem as a big golem come out underground and rushes at them, but Jugo using his sage nature use piston fist to break the golem as Suigetsu cuts her body in half, killing her. Jugo and Suigetsu were done with Iwa nin and civilians, killing them all, and now wait for Naruto. Naruto Pav. Naruto was at the Tsuchikage office where he sees Onoki and his shinobi glaring at him. So, you're the yellow flash son, how dares you brat come here, Onoki said. Please old man, I know about your plan, and to be honest it pathetic to think you and your shinobi going to take me down when my father killed 1,000 of your shinobi using his flying Raijin, Naruto said. Regardless, time to show you brat why you is not to be mess with particle-style particle dust jutsu as Naruto was trapped in a cube but use his shadow clone to replace him as the clone was turned into dust. Impressive brat, but not enough earth-style fist rock jutsu as a rock made of fist lunge at Naruto, but he uses his Rinnegan to push the jutsu back to his shinobi, killing them all. Damn you bastard, Onoki said, but he was kicked by Naruto as he was on the wall. Come on old man, I heard that you were once the fence sitter and now you're all wash up and your shinobi are all dead, Naruto smiling said. This not over brat, the will of stone lives within me and through my dying breath I will stop you, Onoki said. Please show me what can you do, Naruto said as he sees Onoki using an earth-style Akuta to summon earth creatures to attack him. Naruto used his sword to slice them all off and using wind style to make a Rasen shuriken to throw at Onoki, but he dodged it when he flew up, but that attack hit the office blowing it up as Naruto was behind him and kicked him down to the main part of the village as he got up and sees his shinobi and citizens were all dead including his granddaughter as Naruto walks up to him with the tri-kunai that belonged to his father. Damn you brat, you destroy my village and killed my family, Onoki said with anger. So, you fool starting this and now I'm ending it, Naruto said as he threw the kunai at Onoki and disappear in a flash and used the Rasengan to aim it at his head, killing him. It over Iwagakure is done, Naruto said as he sees Jugo and Suigetsu coming up to him as they tell him that all Iwa nin were killed and so is the civilians. Good, now both of you need to leave this village, I will send a huge meteor crashing down, Naruto said as the two left the village when Naruto flew up and active his Rinnegan full powers and summoned a giant meteor crashing down on the village, destroying everything as Naruto lands down in front of Jugo and Suigetsu and tells them let head back to Uzushio to wait for the Akatsuki to come. The three left Iwa but they didn't know that a toad was watching this and poof away. Uzushio Pav. Naruto and his group have encountered Hinata and Karen, who has the 8 Tails Jinchuriki with them and tells Naruto that Kumogakure is gone and the Raikage is dead. Naruto kisses Hinata and Karen and tells them that Iwagakure is destroyed with the Tsuchikage is dead as they all went back to Uzushio in place B in the room where his memories of Kumo will be wiped out and will have a normal life after his beast is safely extracted. Jugo was at his house living in the nature where it was peace and quiet while Suigetsu was at training ground practice his sword for the Akatsuki members to come. Naruto and his wives were at their bed having a fun time. Konohagakure Pav. Tsunade was enraged by this. She received word that Kumo and Iwa has refuses to ally with Konoha and calls them a weak village of backstabbers as she was slamming her fist on the desk. Damn those fools, Tsunade said enraged. But then a toad just appears and give her the message from Jiraiya as she read it and was shocked. Anbu, Tsunade said as an Anbu shows up. Called a council meeting now, Tsunade said as the Anbu nodded and left. This won't end well, Tsunade said. Akatsuki Pav. The Akatsuki has heard what happened to Kumo and Iwa being destroyed by the Kyuubi Jinchuriki and his group. Zetsu, I guess you had something to tell us, Pain said. Yes, it seems the Kumogakure has been destroyed by the two Kunoichi who are the Kyuubi Jinchuriki mates and took the 8 tails back to Uzushio, and Iwa has been destroyed by Naruto and his group, Zetsu said. All members of the Akatsuki were shocked at this, that 2 powerful villages were destroyed. Damn, I didn't realize that boy were this powerful, and now he and his group are dangerous to fight Kisame. Lord Pain believe we should not go after them, they're too much powerful to beat, Itachi said. I agreed, 3 villages were destroyed by those 2 in 3 years, we can't win, Conan said. All of you calm yourselves, I understand, but to succeed of goal for world peace we need the remaining tailed beast, so all of us will head to Uzushio to capture them, Pain said. There one more problem, the Uzumaki brat will know that we are coming, and he will not be alone, so we should hurry, Zetsu said. It doesn't matter, that boy will know, Pain, his Rinnegan is no match for my Rinnegan, Pain said. Conan and Itachi are worried but still continue the plan as all of them left except for Obito, who was standing there. So Naruto, you dare stand in my way? Well, prepare yourself, my goal will be achieved by you and your wife sacrifice, Obito said as he Kamui out of there, but failed to mention a toad was watching this and poof, and a fox was also watch this and dispel. Uzushio Pav. Naruto was training while his wives were studying as the fox appeared, as Naruto has been told that the Akatsuki is coming to take the remaining tailed beast, as Naruto was smirking at this and told his wives that the Akatsuki are coming. So, we will take those fools down, Karen said. Yes, called Jugo and Suigetsu over here and tell them to prepare to fight, Naruto said as Karen nodded and left. Hinata come to Naruto as he was ready to take down those bastards as he wants revenge. Naruto-kun, are you alright? Hinata said, worried about her lover. I fine, but when Kurama told me that a masked man with the Sharingan eye who control him and made my father to seal him into me, resulting his and my mother death, enraged me, Naruto said. Don't worry, that masked man will die by our hands as he will pay for what he did, Hinata said as Naruto kisses her as she kisses back and now waiting for them. Konohagakure Pav. Tsunade has gotten the message and has summoned the council as she and everyone was there as they were wondering what going on. Lady Hokage, what wrong has Kumo and Iwa agreed to forming an alliance, Shikaku said. No, they refused to join us and claiming that we are a weak village, Tsunade said as the council erupted in anger about this. But why can't they see that Uzushio is a threat, Kaharu said. We should force them to join us, Hamaru said. It doesn't matter because I received word that Kumogakure and Iwagakure are both destroyed, Tsunade said. The whole council was shocked that 2 powerful village was destroyed and wondering what happened and who did it. How did that happen? Kaharu shouted. It was Naruto and his group when they split up to 2 villages. Hinata and Karen went to Kumo, killing all Kumo shinobi, and Hinata face against the Raikage and his brother. In the result, she uses her sword to slice the Raikage in half while knocking out the 8 tails Jinchuriki. Karen was killing so many Kumo nin with her chains in her red fox forms pierced through their heads as they were done and left Kumo. Naruto with his group consist of one of them is the 7 ninja swordsmen and a sage user went rampage through Iwa, killing all Iwa nins, and Naruto was fighting the Tsuchikage and killing him while his granddaughter was killed by his teammates, and he flew up into the air and summoned a big meteor crashing down destroying the whole village, Tsunade said. The council was shocked and scared that 5 individuals has the power to destroy 2 major village, and everyone was shouting scare as Tsunade slammed her fist down to make everyone quiet. I get that all of you are scared, but the Akatsuki are heading to Uzushio to capture the 2 Jinchuriki that Naruto had, and Naruto is waiting for them, Tsunade said. Lady Hokage, we should wait for Naruto and Hinata to take down the Akatsuki, and once the both of them are tired out we should use this chance to attack them, Homura said. That not possible, our only option is this, we will ask them to come to Konoha for a peace treaty, Tsunade said as the council was outraged at this. Tsunade, are you insane? Why would we bring back that demon and his whore? Kaharu said. Because fool Jiraiya has told me about the prophecy and says that Naruto and Hinata are the sun and moon fox and will bring destruction to the village that betrayed them, Tsunade said. All the more reason we shouldn't agree to this, Homura said. Which is why we can offer them something for our survival by giving Naruto the Hokage title and Hinata the Hyuga clan heir seat, Tsunade said. I refuse to let that traitor's bitch have the heir seat, Hiashi said. We're not actually giving them but trapping them using seals to block their chakra and placing so many seals on them as our slaves, Tsunade said. Lady Hokage, do you really think that Naruto and Hinata will agree to this, Shikaku said. No, but if they refuse to this, we will attack the village that Naruto helped, like the land of waves and the land of spring, and will attack Sanagakure, Tsunade said arrogantly, as the elders also agree to this and the clan heads want payback for what those two did. Also agree to this as Tsunade sent an Anbu to Uzushio to give them a message. This council is dismissed as she went back to her office as she sees Shizune. Lady Tsunade, do you think Naruto and Hinata is going to accept this, Shizune said. Not really, but if that brat knows better, he will come, or those villages he helped will be taken over, Tsunade said. Still, Naruto won't be happy about this. We did betray them after all, Shizune said. Doesn't matter, that brat was supposed to be our leaf weapon, but he decides to go against his master and destroy half of the village and stealing the funds and jutsu of both clans' heads and civilians and killing our shinobi with that Hyuga bitch, Tsunade said with rage. I'm also upset at this, but be careful, Naruto and Hinata are triple SSS rank or higher, and not to mention 3 shinobi with them, Shizune said. I know, but we will prevail, Tsunade said. Rookies Pav. You all heard right, Kumo and Iwa were destroyed, Shikamaru said. Yeah, can't believe Naruto and Hinata were that strong to destroy 2 village, Choji said. Not to mention took the 8 tails, Jinchuriki, Ino said. Now the Akatsuki is heading to Uzushio, Neji said. What is Lady Hokage going to do now, Lee said. She is sending an Anbu to Uzushio to invite Naruto and his group to Konoha, Shikamaru said. There is no way Naruto will agree to this, Ino said. If he doesn't come, then the village he has helped will be taken over by Konoha, Shikamaru said. Junin Pav. Kumo and Iwa are gone and now the Akatsuki will head to Uzushio, Asuma said. Yes, but they're more. Tsunade want Naruto and Hinata to come here for a peace treaty, Iruka said. No way, they won't come here, Kurenai said. If Naruto don't come, then the village like Wave and Spring will be attacked by us, Kakashi said. Let them come, that bitch will pay for killing my brother, Hana said. I will want revenge for my student as well, Kurenai said. So do I, Kakashi said. Uzushio Pav. The 6 Akatsuki members had arrived to take the 8 and 9 tails as the C5 members in the borders as they were waiting for them. Naruto-kun, I see them coming, Hinata said as Naruto looks at the Akatsuki group coming up to them. So Naruto Uzumaki, we meet at last, surrender the 2-tailed beast for peace, Pain said. You fools think you came just come into our home and demand the beasts, never. I already extracted the 8 tails out of the Raikage brother without killing him and send the 8 tails away where you can't find him, Naruto said. Where is it, brat, Kisame said. None of your business, Hinata said. Then so be it, we will find the 8 tails later, we will capture you, Pain said. Bring it, Naruto, as his group rushes at them while Naruto was facing Pain and Obito. Suigetsu vs Kisame. So, you're the brother of Mangetsu Hizuka. Well, I always want to face his younger brother, Kisame said. Let go then, my sword is ready for you. Water-style water clone jutsu, Suigetsu said as a water clone appear and attack Kisame but block it. Good, let me show you mine. Water-style water shark bomb, Kisame said as a water shark came out and rushes at Suigetsu, but he cut the attack in him and Kisame's sword clashes with Suigetsu having the upper edge. Well, it sees that I will surpass you, Kisame Hoshigaki, Suigetsu said. My arm, you bastard, you think you won, Kisame shouted angrily. Yes, because I learn a new jutsu, water-style water tornado, Suigetsu said as a big tornado made of water absorbed Kisame as he was trying to get free but failed as that jutsu was ripping into high M as blood was coming out of Kisame and fell down to the ground, killing as Suigetsu walked up to the dead Kisame and took his sword Samahata and left. Jugo vs Itachi. So, you my opponents very well, Jugo said as he was in his sage mode and rushes at Itachi but disappear into a flock of birds. I don't have time for you, I need to find Naruto, Itachi said. Why oh I remember you want revenge for your foolish brother death well that his fault and yours to be honest Jugo said. I see that you won't get in my way very well Itachi said active his Sharingan but surprised that Jugo is unaffected by it. Surprised well Naruto told me not to look in your eyes and I had absorbed most of your chakra Jugo said. Well, that doesn't matter Amaterasu Itachi said as a black flame appear and head straight at Jugo. But he dodges it and uses piston fist to punch Itachi sending him flying. Itachi was hurtled but still standing as he active his Mangekyo Sharingan and active his Susanoo as a gigantic, humanoid avatar appear and attack Jugo as he was dodges but can't dodge forever but he remembers the training he did and use his sage transformation to cover his whole body. Itachi seeing this thinking he has won but stopped because of his illness as he was cough off blood as Jugo seeing this and use his new jutsu sage art twin water wind dragon jutsu as the twin dragon which one of them is made of water and the other one is mad of wind rushes at Itachi as he had no time to dodge got hit by that attack as his body couldn't take the full force and was torn in half leave him into pieces. Jugo seeing Itachi dead body into pieces has won the battle and left. Hinata and Karen vs Konan. So, the angel of God has come to face us Hinata said. Surrender I don't wish to fight Konan said. You should have through of that before coming to our home Karen said. We were only here for the tailed beasts now hand it over Konan said. Never Hinata said as she active her Tenseigan and uses her sword to rushes at her. But Konan sends her paper shuriken at her but was burned by Karen and summon her chains as she was in her fox form. So Naruto has mad you into a fox demon Konan said. No just her me as well Hinata said in her fox form and slice Konan paper wings as she was falling to the ground. Konan got up but she realizes she can't win as she sends paper hurricane to escape but was trapped in chains as they turned red and start burning her. Konan was screaming in pain but didn't see Hinata using her Jiyuken strikes hitting her chakra points render her useless as she was in a back wall. Damn it why can't you understand we were only doing this for peace Konan said. You called kidnaps Jinchuriki against their will for peace what are you doing is starting a war and we can't let that happen Hinata said. It over for you now surrender and you may live I can see that you're a good person Karen said. What about pain Konan said. Listen we both know that pain is a fake and know that your friend is hiding so we will ask Naruto-kun to spare you and your friend as long you release the tailed beasts Hinata said. Konan look at the two and agree to this and want to ask them that her friend is an Uzumaki like Naruto as Hinata and Karen was shocked and heals Konan as the three left to find Naruto. Naruto vs Pain and Obito. Naruto was doing well as he uses his flying Raijin to counterattack Pain as his 5 paths were down as it was just him and Obito. Naruto looks at the masked man and used the Rasengan to destroy the mask revealing to be Obito Uchiha. So how did you know who I am Obito said. Easy when that idiot Kakashi has the same eye as you and he always trained that emo Uchiha to make your legacy come true Naruto said. I see well no matter you will surrender the Kyuubi Obito said. I will enjoy killing you Naruto said as he rushes at him, but he was pushed back by Pain as he tells Obito he will handle this as Obito left. Naruto was enraged seeing the Uchiha left as his Rinnegan active and as Shinra Tensei as Pain was using his Shinra Tensei but Naruto was stronger as Pain was pushed back to the water and when Naruto was about to finish him off a paper shield block his way. Naruto-kun wait. Naruto looks around and see his wives and Pain associate as he wants to know what going on. Naruto-kun that man is a fake, but the real one is here and not to mention his an Uzumaki Karen said. I see well thanks for that but that masked bastard who I found out was Obito Uchiha got away Naruto said. What I heard he was dead and wasn't he was you father student Hinata said. Yes, and he was the one who controlled Kurama and caused my parents' death Naruto said. Don't worry I know where he is heading but we need to make it there Konan said. Take us there please Naruto said as she took them to the Akatsuki hideout in Rain Village. Akatsuki hideout. Obito was enraged that his Akatsuki is defeat as he was about to steal Nagato Uzumaki Rinnegan he was caught in chains as Naruto and the other arrived. Konan take Nagato out of here Karen you go with her to heal him Naruto said. Right Naruto-kun Karen said. Thank you, Naruto Konan said as she left with Nagato and Karen to a safer place. So, the brat and his whore are here to stop me very well I will send you both to hell Obito said. You worthless Uchiha, you're the one will be in hell for making my husband life suffer, Hinata said as her was Tenseigan active. I can't believe you were my father. Student, guess you and that one-eyed prick are both failures, and now I will avenge them by killing you, Naruto said as his Rinnegan was active. Bring it, demons, Obito said. Naruto and Hinata vs Obito. Uzumaki style raging whirlpool. Naruto as the attack heads to him, but to Naruto and Hinata surprised it went through him. Ha, that the best you got, no wonder you're both failures, Obito mocked. Water style water sea serpent, Hinata said as the water serpent appeared but was Kamui back at her as Hinata dodges it but was hurt. Hinata scream. Hinata, Naruto shouted as he uses wind style wind dragon jutsu to attack Obito but uses his Sharingan to phase out. Naruto check on his wife and sees she was okay. Bastard, how can we defeat this Uchiha? Every attack we uses goes through him, Hinata said. We can't give up because we will prevail with just the two of us, Naruto said. Yes, Naruto-kun, I will always be by your side, Hinata said. Let go, Hinata-chan, it's time to make that bastard pay for what he did to us, Naruto said. Naruto and Hinata has transformed into their fox forms and both of them use the flying Raijin to cut Obito with their swords, and Obito was keep using his Kamui but he was almost out of chakra as Naruto and Hinata sees this and use their signature jutsu, the demon Rasengan, as Naruto and Hinata slams their Rasengans into Obito's chest as he falling into the floor bleeding everywhere. Damn it, this wasn't supposed to happen, I was about to be a god to the new world, Obito said in pain. Naruto walks up to him with his father kunai and slice off his head, killing him. This is for my parents, you bastard, Naruto said as he burns the body while keep the head as Hinata walks up to him seeing him crying that his parents were avenged as she hugs him. It okays my love, your parents will be happy that you avenged their death, Hinata said. Thank you, my moon queen, Naruto said. Come, let head back, Hinata said as they went back to see Karen heal Nagato as she sees Naruto and Hinata and hugs them. Is it over? Karen said. Yes, the Akatsuki is gone and that bastard is dead, Naruto said. Nagato and Konan walks up to him and apologize for everything as Naruto said no worry. Naruto, Uzumaki, you really are a strange person, Nagato said. Say to you, so what are you both going to do now? Naruto said. Konan and I will head to a megacure to make it better, Nagato said. Okay, that fair, but Uzushio is your home too, Naruto said. I know, how about an alliance between AIM and Uzushio? Konan said. That sounds good, Hinata said. What about the tailed beast? Naruto said. I will release them, Nagato said as he uses the Gedo statue to release the tailed beast as they were all free and thanked Naruto for rescuing them. But wait, what about Zetsu? Konan said. Don't worry about the plant guy, the first killed him before he escaped, but he told me about the will of Kagaya person as Kurama told me who she is and is now trapped in the moon with no way out, Naruto said. So will you three be heading back to Uzushio? Konan said. Yes, we will, please take care, Naruto said as the three flew off to Uzushio unaware that a toad was watching this and poof out. Uzushio Gakure Pav. Naruto and his wives just returned from a megacure and sees Jugo and Suigetsu as they were about to head in but an Anbu from the leaf appear. Naruto grabs the Anbu and slam him to the wall. Why are you here, leaf bastard? Naruto said. The Hokage has asked you and your group for an invitation to Konoha for a peace treaty, and if you refuse the village like wave and spring will be destroyed, the Anbu said. That bitch dares to threaten my friends and the villages I help find, then tell that bitch we be there, Naruto said. But before the Anbu left, Hinata slice of his left arm and kicks him down till she got bored and sees the Anbu disappear. Naruto, what should we do? Karen said. Simple, Konoha has caused enough trouble at time for the corrupt village to be destroyed, Naruto said. We are with you to the end, Naruto-kun, Hinata said as the three nodded. Good, for tomorrow we will head to Konoha, Naruto said. Konohagakure Pav. Tsunade saw the beaten up Anbu as tells her that Naruto and his group accept this invite as she was smirking at this. Prepare, brat, you will be the leaf weapon again, Tsunade said. Uzushio Pav. The next day Naruto and his group were ready to head to Konoha as Naruto and Hinata wanted to deal with those bastards. Boss, do you really think Konoha wants a peace treaty? Suigetsu said. No, this all a trap, but I can't let other village who only live in peace get wrapped up in this mess, and besides Konoha has caused enough problems in the whole elemental nations, Naruto said. Naruto-kun, it right as so far Konoha has been so arrogant because they claim to be the strongest village 3 years ago, but look at the village now, weak and pathetic, and it was the cause of the foolishness by banishing the loyal shinobi for that traitor, Hinata said. You mean the Uchiha kid Orochimaru wants as his new meat suit, Karen said. Yes, but now him and Orochimaru can spend eternity with each other in hell, Hinata said. Lady Hinata, why does Konoha really want Jugo said. It obvious Konoha wants me and Naruto-kun back as their weapons and also wants Karen to revive the Uzumaki under their control, Hinata said. Like fucking hell, I let those bastards control me as their breeding tool, Karen said with rage. Don't worry Karen-chan, Konoha won't do shit to us if they know what good for them, Naruto said. So how long is to get there? Please don't tell me we had to walk, Suigetsu said. Relax, we don't have to. I use my summon, Naruto said as he did some hand signs and summon a dragon. Lord Naruto, how can I help you? Infernal said. Hello Infernal, we need a ride to Konoha, Naruto said as the dragon frowned at the name. Lord Naruto, why would you go to that scum village? Infernal said with hatred for what that village done to his master. Because they had threatened my friends and other innocents, so if I don't come, they will pay the price, Naruto said as the dragon was angry at this. Those fools dare to do this. Very well, I will take you there, but make sure you summon me again. I want to burn that place to the ground, Infernal said. Don't worry, I won't be that long, Naruto said as his group got on the dragon and flew off straight to Konoha. Konohagakure Pav. Everyone was waiting for Naruto to show up as Tsunade and Jiraiya were at the front gate. You think that brat will show up by now? Tsunade said, impatient. Don't worry, the Gaki know what will happen if he doesn't show, Jiraiya said. Lady Hokage, I see something coming and it looks like a dragon. A leaf shinobi said as everyone see a big dragon coming down to land as 5 figures came down on top of the dragon, revealed to be Naruto and his group. Okay Infernal, this won't take long, you can go back, Naruto said. Call me whenever you can, Lord Naruto, Infernal said as he poof away to the dragon realm. Naruto and Hinata sees a bunch of Konoha shinobi surround them as the 5 weren't surprised at this, but Tsunade tells them to stand down as she got up and tells Naruto and his group to join her in the council room. Naruto and the other walk inside of the village and sees the poor state it in, as this made Naruto and Hinata happy seeing these bastards suffer. Boss, this village is truly pathetic. I mean, they look like they live in before technology even existed, Suigetsu said. I can't believe your father even bothered to sacrifice his life to save this dump water of a village, Karen said. Naruto and Hinata remember all the times they had suffer in this village, for Naruto being the Jinchuriki was chased around by angry villagers and betrayed by his sensei and teammates and abandoned by his so-called godparents, and for Hinata being the outcast from her clan, betrayed by her team because they think she weak and sees her lover in pain. While they were walking, the Junins and remaining rookies looks at them with hatred, seeing those murders kills their friends and destroy their homes. How long will they be here? I want revenge for my clan, and Tenten Neji said. Not long, just wait, Guy said. I will avenge Sasuke and Sakura, Ino said. My brother will be avenged, Hana said. That demon and his whores will pay, Konohamaru said. Just you wait, Demon Minato sensei will be proud of me for killing you, then he can rest in peace, Kakashi said. Hinata, you will pay for killing your sister, Kurenai said. Naruto, I always know you were nothing but a demon at times for my parents to be avenged, Iruka said. Tenchi and Ayume glare at Naruto for destroy their business amen stand and steal their recipes. Naruto and the other has arrived in the council where they see the clan heads and the elders as the meeting was about to begin. Okay old hag, we show up, not what this about some BS peace treaty between Uzushio and this dump, Naruto said as the whole council glaring at this brat disrespect. Well, Naruto, we want to have an alliance with your village, Tsunade said. And why should I ally with this village banished loyal shinobi for doing their mission and hiding my heritage from me, Naruto said. Listen brat, you will hand over all of your secret and jutsu to rebuild Konoha, and you and Hinata will have seals on you both as slaves, Tsunade said, but she and the whole council was blasted with killer intent from Naruto and Hinata. Shut the fuck up bitch, you don't dare command me and my wife anything, Naruto said. Pathetic of a Sannin barking orders but can't do shit, just like a worthless nobody, Hinata said. Hinata, you will pay for what you did to the clan and your sister, Hiyashi said as he active his Byakugan to attack her. But she dodges it and slices his head off with her sword. So that the end of the Hyuga clan, pathetic, Hinata said. You bitch, you killed your own father, Sume said. So, who cares now, are we done with this meeting, Hinata said. Naruto, please, this village is in trouble, how can you turn your back at this? Shizune said. Shut the fuck up, slave, you can't even think for yourself without that old hag orders, Naruto said. Enough of this, Naruto, you will return to the village, or we will force you, Jiraiya said. I don't listen to perverts like you, so fuck off, Naruto said. Naruto-kun, this place will never change, we should leave, Karen said. So, you're the Uzumaki girl that Orochimaru had, we will use you as our breeding tool, Jiraiya said. Naruto looks at Jiraiya with rage look on his face and punch him in the chest, knocking him back to the wall as Jiraiya spit out blood. I had enough of this village, it seems that this peace treaty will never happen as we are leaving, Naruto said. Konoha will never change, it will always be the worthless village ever, Hinata said. So be it, Anbu Tsunade said as about 100 Anbu came and surrounded Naruto and his group as they knew this would happen. Do you really think Konoha will agree to a peace treaty? Never. Once we have all of Uzushio resources and jutsu, Konoha will be on top. And all other village will bow before us, Tsunade said. Wicked. I can't believe you will sell out your own Uzumaki clan for this, my mother would be ashamed and disgust of your actions, Naruto said. Shut it, demon, you killed Kushina when she had to birth you, result on her death, Tsunade said. Oh, really? Well, I talked to my mother, and she is enraged at this village and you for what you did to me, Naruto said. Enough of this Anbu attack, Tsunade said as all the Anbu rushes at them, but Naruto active his Rinnegan and push them all back, killing all Anbu as Tsunade and the council was shocked at this. It seems Konoha judgment has come, everyone let destroy this village, Naruto said as the four were ready. Naruto blew up the Hokage meeting room as he was fighting Tsunade and Jiraiya as they were both had their 100 healing mark and Toad Sage mode. So, I am fighting this failure of a godparents, Naruto said. Bring it, Brad, it's times for you to die, Tsunade said. Time to take you down before the prophecy is fulfilled, Jiraiya said. Suigetsu vs Choza, Shikaku, Inochi and Shibi. So, I am fighting a bunch of old people, let get this over with, Suigetsu said. Time for you to die, Shibi said as he sends his swarm of insect at him, but all of them were washed away by water as Suigetsu cut off Shibi with great speed as the other were shocked and was about to do something. But water chains came out and hold them tight. What are these chains, Shikaku said. This must be his work, Inochi said. Damn it, I can't move, Choza said. Wow, that was so easy, but it over for you, water style watch / Suigetsu said as he cut off all three of them dead as he was bored and looked for more people to cut. Jugo vs Guy, Iruka, Asuma and Konohamaru. Jugo looks at Guy and something inside of him snap as he rushes at them with his fist, killing Iruka and pushing Konohamaru back. Are you the one who killed Kimimaro? Jugo asks Guy. No, it was my student, and he did a good thing by killing that unyouthful monster, Guy said. Damn you, I will find your student right after I end your life, Jugo said with rage as he active his Sage mode. Wind style wind twister, Jugo said as a big twister came up and holding Guy, Asuma and Konohamaru. Damn it, this guy is too strong, Konohamaru said. We need to escape, Asuma said, but what they didn't know that their chakra is being absorbed as Jugo uses wind-style cutting wind slashes to slash Konohamaru in pieces as Asuma was furious that his nephew is killed. Guy escaped the jutsu, but he was tired from using the inner gates as he was down, but didn't notice Jugo was walking up to him and use his enhanced fist to punch him in the head as Guy head was splat dead. No, how is that possible, Asuma said as Jugo rushes at him holding his head and slams in down on the ground and grabs his body and rip it apart leaving him dead. Karen vs Ino, Shikamaru and Choji. So, you fools think you can take me on, don't you remember the last time, Karen said. This time it will be different, bitch, Ino said. Okay then, let go, chakra chain style chain Cerberus, Karen said as the chains transform into three-headed dogs from hell and attack at target. What it that, Ino said. No time, just dodge it, Shikamaru said. We're trying, but that dog is fast and strong, Choji said. Wow, you Konoha shinobi are weak, maybe I should hold them, Karen said as she uses her chain to hold all three of them in as they were caught. What we caught, Ino said. The monster is coming, Choji said. Damn it, there no time, Shikamaru said. As the three of them were too late and was being mauled as screams was shouted and killing them dead. Hinata vs Kurenai, Hana and Sume. Hinata just killing Neji after his poor display of fighting skills, and now she sees three kunoichi rushes at her. Hinata, surrender now, Kurenai said. Never, bitch, hell, in fact I heard you love her screaming and now he dead. Hinata laugh at this as Kurenai was enraged and charge mad blindly at her using her genjutsu. Hinata sees this and active her Tenseigan to make her sword long and cuts her in half as blood was everywhere. "Goodbye bitch and tell Hanabi I say hello," Hinata said. Hana and Sume were mad as they both used their clan jutsu with their dogs to attack her. "Oh, I remember the both of you Kiba sister and mother, you both failed as mother and sister to control that horny mutt and now he dead," Hinata said. "Damn you bitch, you will pay fang over fang," Hana said, but notice her digs were sliced in half. "Oh, your dogs are dead, silly me, but who cares," Hinata said, not caring. "Enough of this, you will pat," Sume said. "I grew bored of this, it's time to end you both water-styled twin toxic dragon," Hinata said as a toxic dragon came up to Hana and Sume and melting them both to nothing, and she left but sees Lee and bring him to Jugo. Jugo was looking for anyone till he sees Hinata with a leaf shinobi who was in a wheelchair. "Jugo, this is the guy who killed your friend," Hinata said as Lee sees the orange-haired coming at him and beats him merciless till he begs to stop, but Jugo was killing him till he no more as Rock Lee is dead. "Thanks Lady Hinata for helping me with my revenge," Jugo said. "Don't thank me, but we need to find Naruto and destroy this village," Hinata said as she and Jugo left, leaving dead Konoha shinobi. Naruto vs Kakashi, Jiraiya and Tsunade. Kakashi shows up to help Jiraiya and Tsunade to defeat Naruto, but Naruto was overpowering them as he sees Kakashi was about to use the Reikiri but was kicked behind by Naruto. "How pathetic of you three, is this all you have? Just ashamed," Naruto said. "We'll show you brat summoned jutsu," Tsunade and Jiraiya said as Gamabunta and Katsuyu appeared to see Naruto as they got anger at this and attack, but Naruto uses Rinnegan to push the summon back. "Wow, these are the strongest summon, pathetic," Naruto said. "Quiet brat, how dares you, we are the strongest summon around," Gamabunta said. "Agree," Katsuyu said. "Oh, okay then, let me show my two special powers, summon you fools," recognized Naruto said. Summoning jutsu as two creatures appear as Jiraiya, Tsunade and Kakashi were notice a familiar fox. "Lord Naruto, I see you have summoned Kurama and me, what this about?" Infernal said. Naruto, "What going on?" Kurama said. "Well, you two, that giant toad and slug claims that they are the strongest summon ever," Naruto said. Kurama and Infernal were enraged at this lies that the ugly toad and slug as they rush at them. Jiraiya was shocked that the Kyuubi no Yoko is back and now serves Naruto. Tsunade was scared that the fox will destroy her village. Kakashi was enraged that Naruto has summoned the fox that killed his sensei and now looks at them with a smirk. "You like it right well here, you demise," Naruto said. "Kurama, you handle the toad I killed that slug," Infernal said. "Right," Kurama said as the two beasts were attack Gamabunta and Katsuyu and hurting and torture them as they both scream in pain till Kurama had enough and use a tailed beast bomb on Gamabunta and result killing him as Jiraiya was shocked that his toad is killed. Infernal was burning Katsuyu alive as she tries to split, but even they are burning and Katsuyu stops screaming and is now dead as Tsunade was crying uncontrollable at the loss of her friend. "Good job, you toad, do you both want to stay to destroy this village?" Naruto said. "I can't, Lord Naruto, I need to head back," Infernal said as he poof out. "Not to worry kids, I will finish the job," Kurama said. Naruto. Naruto heard someone shouted his name and sees Tsunade with tears of rage on her as she rushes at him, but Naruto was bored and used fire-style sword slash as a sword made of fire and cut her in half. Shizune came up to see Tsunade was cut in half, rushes at Naruto but was stabbed with a kunai as she looks at Hinata with her eyes red with slits as she glares at her, then kills her dead. "Now Jiraiya, Kakashi, before you both died, I need to tell that on the night of the attack Uchiha came here and hurt my parents and controlled Kurama. But I found out who this masked person is and now the person is dead," Naruto said as he pulls out a scroll and show Kakashi and Jiraiya the head of Obito Uchiha as Kakashi was shocked. "Wait, you mean that Obito was the one who started this?" Kakashi said. "Yes, you one-eyed prick, but now it doesn't matter, you will join him in hell," Naruto said. "Wait Naruto, I'm sorry, please forgive me," Kakashi said, but Naruto cut off his head. "Apologies not forgiven," Naruto said. Jiraiya saw his village is gone, his Tsunade is killed and now his toad is dead as he was on the ground shedding tears and looks at Naruto with rage. "Naruto HIW, could you do this?" Jiraiya said. Naruto looks at the pathetic man and had enough and uses a Rasengan to slam into Jiraiya head, killing him, and so Konoha shinobi were all dead. Naruto sees his wives and Jugo and Suigetsu as he told them to leave this village as 4 of them left the village as Kurama was ready to destroy the remaining civilians and elder along this rotten village as he uses his biggest tailed beast bomb destroyed the whole Konoha leaving a big hole with no survivors. Konohagakure is no longer there. Let head back to Uzushio, Naruto said as everyone went back to Uzushio leaving a big crater where Konoha used to be. Uzushio-gakure. 10 years later after the fall of Konoha, Naruto was in joy with his wives as they both were pregnant and now will give birth as they were in labor and shouted at Naruto forgotten them pregnant as Hinata has given birth to 2 daughters, the blue-haired girl with blue eyes and whiskers mark is Himawari and the blonde-haired girl with her eyes just like her mother is Hikari. Naruto and Karen have twins, 1 boy and 1 girl. The boy with red hair and blue eyes with whiskers mark is named Shanks and the girl with blonde hair, red eyes and whiskers mark is named Misa. Naruto was happy that he has 3 daughters and 1 son, and they are Uzumaki to revive his clan as his wives were given them love and affection as Hinata and Karen were kissing their husband. Uzushio was at the first place, second was Suna, then Kiri as the 3 great nations since Kumo, Iwa and Konoha has fallen and now peace was all over in the elemental and no more corruption. Naruto also found out that Nagato and Konan got married and have a son named after their friend. Jugo decides to travel around the elemental nation helping people and giving them food and Suigetsu decide to head back to Kiri to help the Mizukage. Now Naruto children were playing around, and him and his 2 wives were watching them as they had their peaceful life. In the afterlife, Konoha shinobi who were all killed by Naruto and his group were at trial for their crimes. Why are we on trial? Jiraiya said. It because what we did to Naruto, Tsunade said. Damn it, that bitch of a daughter killed me, Hiyashi said. As more Konoha arrived whining about why they are not going to the gate as they see Kami in the courtroom as judge and the angels are the jury. All rise for Judge Kami as the rise then sits down. Konoha, you are here for the crimes of betraying Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze and Hinata Uzumaki. How do you plead? Kami said. Not guilty, Konoha said. Really, then what about hiding Naruto heritage from him? Kami said. That boy is not the son of the 4th, he dies when the beast was sealed inside of him, Jiraiya said. Are you saying that you don't trust Minato Namikaze sealing jutsu? Kami said. Konoha was quiet that Minato was an excellent seal master. Regardless, we did nothing wrong, Tsunade said. Don't lie, Tsunade Senju, we all saw what happened when Naruto bring back a criminal Uchiha with minor injuries, Kami said. That doesn't matter, Naruto is still a monster, he killed the 1 person I cared for, Tsunade said but was shocked by 10,000 volts. You stupid bitch, it was you and Jiraiya fault for not being there to help your students, Kami said in rage. Tsunade was shocked that Kami judged her and saying that it was her fault. How dare you say that it not my fault, it was that demon, Tsunade said, but she was slapped by a red-haired woman who glare at her. Tsunade and the whole entire of Konoha sees angry faces of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th Hokage and Kushina and Mito Uzumaki which they all glares at them. You bitch, how dare you hurt my son, Kushina said. Kushina, that not you son, your son dies in the ceiling, Tsunade said scare. And who told you that my son dies when the Kyuubi was inside of him? Minato said with angry expression on his face. Well, we know that it was general knowledge that the seal won't hold, Tsunade said, but was slapped by Hashirama and Mito. You are a disgrace to the Senju clan, Tsinadebleming, a child for this, how pathetic of you, Hashirama said. I can believe you betray our clan motto and for that you are banished from the Uzumaki clan, Mito said as Hashirama banish her from the Senju clan. What, please don't do this, I'm sorry, Tsunade said with tears coming out her eyes, but they ignore her as a portal opened below her and drag her to hell where she was tortured by demon. Minato glare at Jiraiya and Kakashi as the 2 gulps at this. Now Kakashi, what was that you called my wife again a whore? Minato said. Minato sensei, please, it was that women fault for taking you away from me, Kakashi said. First that crybaby Obito and now pathetic Kakashi, seriously Minato, beside Rin your other students are pathetic, Kushina said. Shut up demon bitch, you took my father away from me, Kakashi said but was punched by Minato who glare at him. Kakashi, as of this moment you are no longer my student, I denounce you, Minato said. What, sensei, please, I'm sorry, Kakashi said but Minato turns his back away from him as Kakashi was crying and now broken. Jiraiya, you are the worst sensei and godfather I have ever seen, you abandoned my son to do that porn shit, pathetic of the Sannin named Minato said. Minato, I sorry, but the prophecy was going to the path of destruction. I can't allow that to happen, but was cut off by Kami blasting him with lightning. You dumb fool, the prophecy is already fulfilled, Kami yelled. What? Jiraiya said, shocked. That right, Naruto Uzumaki has brought peace to the elemental nations and now living in Uzushio, Kami said. Jiraiya was shocked that Naruto has brought peace, but not for Konoha but in Uzushio. Jiraiya, as of today you are no longer my teacher, Minato said as a portal opened up and dragged both Jiraiya and Kakashi to hell. This village has failed us for the last time, Hashirama said. Yes, because of your foolish praise, that damn Uchiha, Tobirama said as they want to leave, not dealing with them. Asuma and Konohamaru, I am ashamed of you both for hurting Naruto. You both had brow shame to the Monkey Clan and now you both are disowned, the third Hokage said as Konohamaru was crying for what he dies and Asuma felt guilt. Kami summoned Hiyashi wife and she was glaring at Hiyashi and Hanabi as she slaps them both. I disappointed in both of you for hurting Hinata like that, and now the Hyuga clan is now extant thanks to you, and for that Hanabi I disown you as my daughter, Hitomi said as Hanabi was crying for this, and Hiyashi I denounce as my husband as well, Hitomi said as she left them broken and crying for what they did. Kami also summoned Makoto as she was glaring at Sasuke and slaps him and hit him. You are pathetic just like your father. As of today, Sasuke, you are no longer my son, I disowned you, Makoto said as Sasuke was crying. Kami had enough fun and send them back to the afterlife. Konoha, your punishment is to spend eternity in hell where you fools will be tortured by demon, Kami said as all Konoha and corrupt shinobi are sent there where they were screams of torture and pain. That what they get now, back to deal with paperwork, Kami said. That's all for my now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.